No one published it. No one photographed the back. And when a Russian linguist finally translated the full text in the 1990s, he refused to release his notes. He told a colleague in writing that the contents would, quote, end the discussion about where we come from. He died 8 months later. The tablet is cataloged as Ni 3535, and what's carved into it is not a prayer. It's not a myth, it's a list of worlds, a list of populations, and a list of the beings the Sumerians said were living on each one. Today, we're going to walk through every single line on that tablet. We're going to name the worlds it names. And we're going to look at why 3 separate academics who got close to publishing this material had their careers quietly destroyed. Let's get into it. To understand why Ni 3535 matters, this wasn't a regular Sumerian entire civilization for nearly every king of Sumer, from Ur to Akkad to Babylon, had to travel to Nippur to be confirmed by the priests of Enlil. It was their Vatican, their Mecca, and inside the main temple complex, there was a structure called the Ikur, which translates literally to mountain house. Now, mainstream historians will tell you the Ikur was just a ziggurat, a stepped pyramid, a place of worship. But the tablets recovered from that complex describe something very different. They describe a sealed chamber underneath the ziggurat, a chamber that contained what the Sumerians called the Tablets of Destiny. Not one tablet, multiple tablets, according to the surrounding texts, were not written by humans. They were written by the Anunnaki, the ones who came down, and they contained the record of every world they had visited, every population they had seeded, and every location in the sky where their work was still ongoing. Ni 3535 is believed to be a fragment of that record, a working copy, a scribe's transcription. And when you read what's actually on it, you start to understand why 3 governments have classified portions of the translation. The first thing you see on the tablet is a header, 3 signs. In cuneiform, they read K-I-A-N, bar. K-I means earth or land. An means sky or heaven. Bar means other or beyond or separated. Together, the phrase translates to something close to Earth's beyond the sky, or more directly, the other worlds. Right under that header, the scribe carved a number. The number is written in the Sumerian base 60 system, and it reads 12. 12 other worlds.
Wow.
Now, before anyone says this is just mythology, remember something. The Sumerians did not have a concept of fiction the way we do. Their tablets were administrative. They tracked grain.
Right.
They tracked taxes. They tracked livestock. When a Sumerian scribe wrote down a number, that number meant something specific and countable. He was not making up a fairy tale. He was logging an inventory of 12 places, and then the tablet does something nobody expected, listing them by name, by position, and by population. The first world listed is called Lamu. In standard Sumerian astronomical texts, Lamu is the name given to Mars. The scribe writes that Lamu was, quote, the first garden, and that it was abandoned when the air thinned. Then he writes a population number. The number is 0. The tablet is telling us that Mars was inhabited and is now empty. The second world is Lahamu, which corresponds to Venus. The scribe writes that Lahamu burned, and that what lived there had to leave or be transformed. Population, also 0, but with a strange notation next to it, a small carved symbol that the Russian linguist translated as sleeping. Not dead. Sleeping. And there is a very specific reason that word was chosen. In Sumerian, there are at least 4 different words for being dead. There is the word for killed in battle. There is the word for died of sickness. There is the word for taken by the underworld. And there is the word for ended.
Mother.
So I guess he's got that loud horn in case somebody doesn't look at him.
Oh, shit!
Could this just be a wild coincidence? So just a week ago, I posted this video talking about the 9 different scientists that went missing or unalived in the last couple of years. And in the last week, since I posted this, 2 more have been added to that list. But that's not even what this post is about. That's just a strange coincidence. I simply wanted to reference this video because in it I...
Oh, snap. Go back.
Could this just be a wild coincidence? So just a week...
I don't know if you guys heard about the 6 scientists that went to go scuba diving. One of them got ready to go down and everything, but she decided to stay on the boat. I don't know if she had one of those Final Destination freaking visions or what, but she's the only one that survived.
A week ago, I posted this video talking about the 9 different scientists that went missing or unalived in the last couple of years.
I was trying to see when he
in the
posted
last
this,
week,
but I can't
since
see.
I posted this, 2 more have been added to that list. But that's not even what this post is about. That's just a strange coincidence. I simply wanted to reference this video because in it I speculated that the Artemis mission was actually a DART mission. And I have not heard anyone else say the same thing. Now that was a pretty bold claim at the time, but there's been a lot of scrutiny of this mission since then. Between the green screen interviews, the photo shoot that looks like it was probably made by AI, and an awkward moment where this astronaut seems to forget her lines, safe to say that this entire mission has gotten kind of weird.
It got weird, didn't it?
Yeah.
I knew it.
But this next connecting of dots is something I did not expect. November 24th, 2021, NASA launches DART, which is Double Asteroid Redirection Test. This is effectively throwing darts at asteroids with the intention of redirecting them. And this is what NASA loves doing. They love coming up with acronyms that relate to the mission itself. So throwing darts is a perfect metaphor to this actual mission. Interesting then that one of the scientists that worked on the DART missions is one of those that went missing.
Indeed.
And the laboratory responsible for developing this technology? Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Laboratory, which works in collaboration with NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, which is completely tied to all these other scientists. It's not such a leap then that I'm coming to the conclusion that maybe all this stuff is linked. But wait, there's more. During the eclipses of October of 2023 and April of 2024, NASA launched the APEP missions. What does APEP stand for? Atmospheric Perturbations Around Eclipse Path. It's a weird freaking name. Almost like they came up with the acronym first and then just tried to wedge words in that would work with it. Because as we know, NASA loves their acronyms that have a double meaning. Do you know what the other meaning for APEP is? It's the other name for Apophis. And what's the asteroid that could possibly impact Earth in the near future? Apophis. In 2029, it comes really close, and then if it hits a keyhole, then potentially it could hit Earth in 2036. Now, scientists are saying that it's not going to, but I think they're lying. And they're lying for reasons that I explain in other videos. You can go look those up. If Apophis did impact the world and it had global consequences, then the name suits the asteroid, because Apophis is the god of destruction. In the Bible, they call it wormwood. And this is where it gets crazy. So this is what it says in Revelation. The third angel blew his trumpet, and a great star fell from heaven, blazing like a torch. A third of the waters became wormwood, and many people died from the water because it had been made bitter. Okay, so what? So there's a biblical prophecy that talks about a potential asteroid, and then there are these missions that seem like they're trying to divert asteroids? How am I connecting all this? Do you know what the scientific name for wormwood is? I'm at a loss for words. You cannot make this shit up. Artemisia, absinthium, Artemis. Think about it. Imagine that there's an imminent impact with Earth. Would NASA spend any of their time and resources on doing anything else beyond trying to stop that from happening?
You never
Of course not. But if all their missions told the public what was happening, you would have utter chaos. So they have to cover it up. And this Artemis 2 mission is so fake because it had nothing to do with bringing people around the moon.
Yeah,
it was a dark
stupid.
mission. That's my theory. I'm sticking to it for now.
What's my line
And
again?
Stick with me for more.
There's a town in Alaska where more people go missing per capita than anywhere else in the United States. And the stories coming from Nome, Alaska are as disturbing as they are mysterious. But what is going on there? Why do so many people go missing under strange circumstances? Well, today I want to share with you some of those stories. And one of them you're going to want to stick around for. It was a Sunday night, August 10th, 2003. 18-year-old Timuri Tawarek and her roommate, 19-year-old Sonia Ivanov, went to a friend's house for a fun-packed night of beer and board games. The Arctic summer sun had finally set just before midnight, but Timuri and Sonia still had enough energy to burn, so they continued hanging out. At around 1 a.m., Timuri looked at the clock and realized that she had to be up for work in just 6 hours. Neither Timuri nor Sonia had cars. They got around Nome, their small Alaskan town, entirely on foot. And Timuri, realizing that she wouldn't be getting more than 5 hours of sleep, decided that she was just going to stay at her friend's place and crash there that night. But Sonia had Mondays off from work, so she wasn't really in any hurry. She decided she was just going to amble home on her own. So Timuri walked Sonia outside into the misty night rain, and after the two girls told each other, "Peace out," Sonia continued on her way down the street in the direction of their home. At around 5 a.m. that morning, Timuri returned to her apartment to get ready for work, and she noticed that Sonia's bed was empty. Now, Timuri racked her brain for why that might be, and she figured Sonia must have stopped at her friend's house and spent the night there, so she just got dressed and headed out to work. She figured that she would hear from Sonia later because she often called her during the day on her work line just to check in and chat. But Timuri didn't hear from Sonia at all that day. And this was not normal. These girls always checked in with each other. Even without cell phones, they just always knew where the other one was so that they could call the landline and just chat. Timuri did not feel good about this, so she began making calls to mutual friends to find out if anyone had seen her. And no one had. That same morning, Timuri called the hospital where Sonia worked and learned that she never showed up for her shift there. She then phoned the Nome police to ask if maybe Sonia had...
I just had to pause that for a minute to see if my sound is working. Looks like it is. Okay, we can continue.
been arrested for some reason and was being held, but no one named Sonia Ivanov or fitting her description was in custody. Where did Sonia go? Did she somehow make a wrong turn on the short walk back to her apartment, a walk that she had made many, many times before? Well, the truth is, Sonia had become part of a disturbing trend in Nome, a trend where people just vanish into thin air. And locals have been warning each other for a long time about this very thing. Now, Nome is a city at the edge of the world. It's etched into the Arctic coastline along the southern rim of Alaska's Seward Peninsula. It juts out into the icing Bering Sea. Nome is actually closer to Russia than to Anchorage, Alaska's largest city. And it's not for nothing that Nome's very name forms the first syllables of no man's land. Nome is a place isolated from the world beyond it. No roads connect to it from anywhere else. And if you open Google Maps and try to find driving directions to Nome, Google can't offer them. Nome can only be reached by plane or by boat or by dog sled. Everything about this place is harsh and unforgiving. Temperatures average just 5.6 degrees Fahrenheit in January, its coldest month, but they can drop as low as minus 50, which is a level of cold that most of us can't even understand. In summer, daylight in Nome lasts for 20 hours, while at the peak of winter, it's the total inverse. 20 hours of total darkness and what's known as polar night. The harsh environment is reflected in the city's architectural character, too. Many of the buildings are these stilted clapboard structures with a prefabricated look. They're just designed for maximum warmth and durability. And
had a friend named Barbie who lived with her great-grandma, Miss Mary, and I would go stay with them on the weekends, and Miss Mary would tell us scary stories about how her family's farm was cursed, and how people got hurt, went missing, and were even unalived in some of the weirdest ways on this farm. Miss Mary said that they built this little wooden house in the cornfield in the mid-1800s, and there were 16 siblings altogether. Her daddy finds a graveyard out in the field, he removes it and puts it somewhere else and plants corn there. Mom was disgusted and told him to put the graves back, but Dad refused because the crops did so good and he made a lot of money. After the first corn season is over, Mary begins to notice that her older sister Elizabeth is acting really weird. She quit school, she quit going to church, she stopped teaching Sunday school, she didn't want anything to do with her siblings. Her parents chalked it up to, look, she's 16 now, she's rebelling, that's what we all did, she'll get through it eventually. But Mary knew this was not just some act of rebellion, there was something wrong with her sister, but she didn't know what. So Mary and Elizabeth share a room with a third sibling, and when Mary wakes up around 2 a.m., she realizes that Elizabeth is gone and the window's wide open. Elizabeth snuck out. Mary goes outside on the porch, calling her name, looking around the farm, but Elizabeth does not reply. She's not there. So Mary gets on her slippers and housecoat and starts walking around the barns and out in the cornfield, and she starts hearing this growling sound, and it sounds like it's following her. Of course, she gets scared thinking it's a bear or a panda cat, so she goes back to the house and goes to bed. Well, around sunup, here comes Elizabeth climbing back through the window, covered in dirt from head to toe. Mary says, where were you? Why are you so dirty? Elizabeth does not respond. She's got a blank stare on her face. She goes and washes off, changes her clothes, and comes back to bed. Doesn't say nothing. The next day, Mary snitches on Elizabeth about her sneaking out, and Elizabeth says, no, I didn't. You're lying. And her parents believe Elizabeth. But one morning, Elizabeth comes in the bedroom, and she reeks. Mary wakes up to the smell. She's like, dude, where have you been? What is that? That smells like pure damn corn. Go wash yourself. Even as Elizabeth washes, Mary has to put her shirt over her nose because the smell is still in the room. It's just lingering. The mom comes in to wake Mary up for school, and the smell knocks her down at the door. She said, whoa, what is that? Mary said, Elizabeth. Elizabeth said, no, it ain't. It's not me. Mom said, either way, y'all get ready for school, and we'll have the guys go under the house and see if there's a dead animal under there. Well, the guys go under the house. They look and look. They can't find nothing. So several times throughout the week, Elizabeth comes home reeking like that. And Mary's like, all right, I've had enough. I want to know what she's doing. I'm going to follow her. Mary, she's sitting there wide awake under her cover, waiting on Elizabeth to sneak out the window, and she does. So Mary gets her slippers, and she follows behind her. They walk and walk for what seems like miles, and Mary's thinking, where the hell is she going? There's nothing out here. Until she sees this big-ass graveyard up ahead, and she thinks, I know Elizabeth is not going in the graveyard, but she did. She watches as Elizabeth walks up to this specific grave and sits down. Mary sees there's like a tunnel in the ground beside this grave. Elizabeth proceeds to take off her shoes and clothes, and then she watches Elizabeth army crawl down this tunnel head first. Now Mary's thinking that can't be so deep. She can't be going that far. So Mary walks up to the hole and says, Elizabeth, what are you doing? Come here. So Mary puts a stick in the hole to try to see how deep it is, and it's deep. So Mary gets down on her knees and puts her face up to the hole and says, Elizabeth Maria Dodson, get back up here right now, this instant. You're scaring me. I'm going to tell Mom and Dad. And that's when Mary hears it. This deep, raspy voice mimicked Mary's voice and repeated what she said. I'm going to tell Mom and Dad. Mary jumps back, freaked out, because she knows that's not Elizabeth. Elizabeth has a very high-pitched voice. Yeah. She didn't know how to describe it, but it didn't sound human. Mary abruptly jumps to her feet, stumbles backwards, and she hears this growling, snarling sound coming from the hole, and it sounds like it's getting closer and closer to her end. And then she took off running back to the house. The whole way back, it sounded like they were running right behind her up until she jumped back in the bedroom window. So the whole night, Mary sits on her bed waiting for Elizabeth to come back home, but she never did. So Mom comes in that morning and asks, where's Elizabeth? And Mary said she snuck out last night. She said, Mama, I think Elizabeth might be in trouble. So they go get her dad, who was getting ready for work, and she tells them everything that's happened. At first, her parents didn't believe her. They thought Mary was crazy. They said, well, Elizabeth is wilding out. She's rebelling, but sneaking out to go to a graveyard and climbing down a hole naked, that's just crazy. Are you making this up to get attention because y'all got in a fight or something? And Mary said, no, I saw it with my own eyes. They refused to believe her, and Mary said, look, I'll take you there. I'll show you where her clothes are right now. Let's go. So they all get on a little buggy and they go down there. They tie the horse up, walk out to the grave, and sure enough, there's a tunnel right beside the grave, just like Mary said. And Elizabeth's clothes are also piled up along with her shoes beside that hole. So they get the townspeople, they get some candles, they get down in the hole, but they can only go so far because apparently this hole is really deep. It goes far past the grave. They keep dropping a rock on a string down to see how deep the hole is, but it never hits bottom. So they keep digging and digging until they finally hit something, and when they move the dirt back, they find Elizabeth's remains, and she looks bad. Something tore her apart. Wow. Her body was already decomposing, but there was still a look look of fear on her face like she died screaming, terrified. And they don't understand why she's decomposing like that because she couldn't have been dead that long. They just saw her yesterday, but her body's decomposing like she's been dead for days. Mary starts to realize if that weren't Elizabeth who came home, then what was it? Who climbed through that window every night, slept in the same room as me? Was it demon, a shapeshifter, or what? Townspeople start talking about who was buried there, and it was a man named Edward. And what was so strange is that Edward's body was found in the same condition. He had the same look of terror on his face, his chest had been ripped open, he'd been torn apart as well, just like Elizabeth. So this whole thing was just really weird. So years later, Mary is now an adult, guilt-ridden. She stays drunk and angry all the time, and one night she decides she's going back to that graveyard. So she gets a shovel, a lantern, and her bottle of liquor, and she heads down to the graveyard alone. And when she got there, the first thing she noticed was that tunnel was still there,
Don't do the
wide
liquor.
open beside Edward's grave. After all these years, so Mary fell face first down beside that hole and said, "I'm so sorry, Elizabeth. I should have gotten you help that first night you came back home. I knew something was wrong with you, and I did nothing to save you. I'm sorry." Mary's sitting there at the hole with a bottle of vodka when all of a sudden she hears Elizabeth's voice. "Mary, is that you? I've been waiting on you. Come be with me." Mary drops that bottle of liquor like, "What?" So Mary's crying by this point, and for a split second, she thought about crawling down that hole just so she could see her sister again. Then it hit her. I might be drunk, but I'm not stupid. I'm not crawling down that hole. And when she said no, she weren't going down there, the voice started changing between Elizabeth and something else, and it started growling at her. Mary swore that's when it stuck its head out of the hole and revealed itself to her. When it came out of that hole in its true form, it had a big mouth that was gaping open. Eyes looked like bright lights in a black hole. Looked like if an old man was a witch. This is the only picture I could find that fits it, and it's so creepy. Mary knew she couldn't take on something like this. It was over at that point, so she ran home and never went back to that graveyard again. Mary told her family, but they didn't believe her. They thought she was crazy and dealing with the trauma of losing her sister. After this happened, she would still hear Elizabeth's voice around the property, but she'd never approach it because she knew it was not her sister, it was that thing. And what's wild is they had other people go missing on this property. An uncle disappeared while planting corn. A 12-year-old boy went outside to shut a barn door and never came back. She always wondered, how did it lure her sister there? Like, how did this whole thing start?
Two trailer park girls go round the outside, round
the outside.
I've created a monster, because nobody wants to see Marshall no more. They want Shady. I'm chopped liver. Well, if you want Shady, this is what I'll give you. A little bit of weed mixed with some hard liquor. Some vodka. That'll jumpstart my heart quicker than a shock when I get shocked at the hospital by the doctor. When I'm not cooperating. When I'm rocking the table while he's operating. Hey, you waited this long. Now stop debating. 'Cause I'm back. I'm on the rag and ovulating. I know that you've got a job, Miss Cheney, but your husband's heart problem's complicating. So the FCC won't let me be, or let me be me. So let me see. They try to shut me down on MTV, but it feels so empty without me. So come on and dip. Bum on your lips. Fuck that. Come on your lips and some on your tits. And get ready, because this shit's about to get heavy. I just settled all my lawsuits. Fuck you, Debbie. Now this looks like a job for me. So everybody just follow me. Because we need a little controversy. Because it feels so empty without me. Little hellions. Kids feeling rebellious. Embarrassed. Their parents still listen to Elvis. They start feeling like prisoners. Helpless. Till someone comes along on a mission and yells, bitch. A visionary. Vision is scary. Could start a revolution. Polluting the airwaves. A rebel. So just let me revel and bask in the fact that I got everyone kissing my ass. And it's a disaster. Such a catastrophe. For you to see so damn much of my ass, you ask for me? Well, I'm back. Na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Fix your bent antenna. Tune it in, and then I'm gonna enter in and up under your skin like a splinter. The center of attention. Back for the winter. I'm interesting. The best thing since wrestling. Infesting in your kids' ears and nesting. Testing. Attention, please. Feel the tension soon as someone mentions me. Here's my 10 cents. My 2 cents is free. A nuisance. Who sent? You sent for me?
I love it.
Okay, I got another one 2 days in a row.
Na, na,
This
na,
is
na,
a
na, na, na.
military, supposedly a military aircraft. You know, that's what the ADSB says. And we're going to take a close look at this one today.
Nothing makes
sense. Look at the wings. Look at the one engine. It's like on top of the plane. Supposed engine, right?
Yeah, this is
Look at this thing. Okay, now, also pay close attention to this spot because when we put the filter on, it's going to be very, very telling that this is not a plane. All right. Okay, we're going to watch a few frames here. Just look at this thing. It's so clear that this isn't a plane, but now we're going to put the filter on it. And look at that one spot where I was pointing out earlier. See how you can see the red? Now we're going to go ahead and pause it, zoom in on this. Look at the hole! And you can see the hole. Yeah, a hole right through the middle of the plane. And now when we adjust, I'm going to adjust the level here. Yeah, right there. You guys see the hole, right?
Yes.
Now watch this. Look at this. Now you can see that it's actually like 4 to 5 different entities combined making up the craft. This is clearly NHI, non-human intelligence. This is not a plane. And they want you to believe that this is the military doing this to us. It only took me a few minutes, well, a little bit longer than a few minutes, but once I got a good shot of this thing, it didn't take long to discover that it wasn't a plane. It's very important that you take the time to do this same thing and see it for yourselves.
That's
because
crazy.
once you see it with your own eyes,
you can't unsee it.
It changes everything.
It does. It does. It does.
But your breath smell like dicky. And you didn't pay the fucking house bill. You drinking so quick. Cause she fucking can. She's thirsty, bitch.
Did you just curse?
No.
Did you just curse? It sure sound like you said shit.
I said cheese.
Oh.
Oh.
It's my baby, motherfucker. No. Do it, get me fucked up.
They get you what?
Fucked up.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
No, fuck 7, 8, 9, 10. Look at mom. See chocolate milk? Chocolate dick. Mommy.
Yeah.
Fuck. Fuck.
What?
Fuck.
Well, what?
And fuck.
You want the fork?
I got the window to the wall until the sweat's dripping down my balls.
Did you see a monster truck anywhere around here?
It's right behind you, you fucking ding dong. That's not that word, Mommy.
Yes, it is.
No, it's a take a fucking nap. I don't like this family. It's so fucking stupid.
Can you say mommy?
My bitch.
My bitch.
Mommy. Bitch.
I'm your mother, not
a bitch.
Wit, it, hit, bit, and learn.
Shit. Shit.
Shit.
That's it.
Yeah.
Motherfucker. No.
We're fishing out here today. What are we gonna catch, Barrett?
A big motherfucking fish. I'm sick. Because I'm so sick of snow on this fucking street.
Hey, y'all wanted the last piece of the puzzle, and I'm telling you, nobody's going to understand it, no one's going to hear it, and everybody's going to think I'm insane, but I'll give it to you, because why the heck not? Because this is fun. We're all having fun. This is all entertainment purposes only, and these are just puzzle pieces that people like me like putting together. So saying that, what if I were to tell you that all of everything stems back to Esau of the Bible, the cursed twin brother of Jacob who became Israel? And I know I sound crazy. I know I do. I know everyone's going to be like, there's no way. How are you going to do that? Yada, yada, yada. Every single one of them.
I know what he's saying because I say so many things when I'm having conversations, and I'm like, just gotta stop real quick and say, yes, I know I sound crazy, but the shit is true. I can prove it. The world's gone mad.
Every single one of them, all the L's, they were all the descendants of the Amalek. Amalek is one of the sons or grandsons. I can't remember. There's too many names in my head. I'll learn too much in 72 hours. But saying that, it all goes back to Esau, the cursed brother of Jacob, being Israel. And everybody that says they are who they are aren't who they are. And the Catholic Church is at the heart of the reason Christianity is not what Christianity is supposed to be. And Jews aren't Jews. And there's a difference between Jews and Israelites, eggs. And there's a reason that Jews speak Yiddish. And there's a reason that the person that translated the New Testament into Yiddish can be traced to Stan Lee. And there's a reason that everybody believes in this Carneal law, which is the law of karma, where they have to tell you exactly what they're doing so they don't have bad karma upon them.
Oh, wow.
And there's a reason the Simpsons seem to always predict the future. It's because they're not predicting the future, they're writing it. And there's a reason that since Stan Lee can be traced all the way back to the first person that translated it into Yiddish.
But I like Stan
There's a
Lee.
reason Marvel is one of the biggest series of all time.
very
And there's
cool.
a reason the highest grossing movie of all time, not just a Marvel series, but of all time, highest grossing, is a movie called Endgame. Endgame is a funny name, by the way. But what if I were to tell you all you have to do to figure out the puzzle is flip the script? Just flip the script of Endgame, really of all the Avengers. Because Endgame says that Thanos is the bad guy and the Avengers are the good guys. Well, the Avengers are a group of supernatural beings, almost like all the else, and they're teaming up against this one supernatural being, Thanos, or maybe even God. You know how he snaps his fingers and everyone disappears, and it almost symbolizes the rapture? It's crazy. And then you remember after Endgame, when it ended, the series came out, and then the TVA was established in that show. And the TVA, what's their name? Time Variant Agency, something like that. Variant means to change, so time change agency. And what is it like science has done? And they've told us that Earth is millions of years old and dinosaurs live millions of years old and all this other stuff, when none of that is true, but that's all that science is based off of. It's almost as if they changed the timeline, because the real timeline is Earth 6,000 years old and it's not a sphere. And I'm not really on the whole flat Earth thing, but I do think it's like more of a like a half globe. We can get into that in another video. That's not really a part of this. But saying that, it's also said that in those movie series that the TVA is more powerful than Thanos. One of the only things more powerful than Thanos. But it's funny because if Thanos is a god, and it's supposed to symbolize God, and they are the time change agency, that would simulate that God himself can be constrained and restricted by time. Which isn't true. You know why? Because time is man-made. God didn't make time. He made day and night. Man made the clock. So if they think they can defeat God by changing time or switching timelines or doing other things to escape him, because he is coming back and they know that, that's what they're afraid of. But anyways, that's their loophole. That's their way out, is to try and change the time so they don't have to go. But newsflash, God isn't restrained by time because it was made by man. I know that's really hard to understand because people like us aren't supposed to understand these things. But some people like building puzzles. I told you, I know I sound crazy. This is a really long video, so if you're still here, welcome. I'm sorry I opened up a bunch of these rabbit holes for you guys, but someone's got to do it, and I will. I'm not crazy. I'm very, very happy in my life. But, they are all, every single one of them, they all go back to Esau through the Amalek. And the Catholic Church is the heart of it all. You're welcome.
Oh my God, okay? It's a Stargate. These data centers, OpenAI, AI, it's designed to summon demons and aliens from the other dimensions. Okay, keep on going.
A former OpenAI executive said the portals currently exist in the United States and China.
I told you guys, China and the United States are working together on this, okay? Keep on going.
And Sam has added one in the Middle East. He went on, I think it's just like widely important to get how scary that should be. It's the most reckless things that has been done.
Okay, this is it, okay? This is not a science project, guys. It's an occult project. It's designed to bring aliens, demons, into this world. And then you're like, this makes no sense. Actually, it does make sense, okay? Let me tell you how this works. All right. So, what's going on here? these people are occultists. They understand the fundamental nature of reality. They understand that the source of reality is human consciousness. So if you're able to control human consciousness, you become God itself. Okay? So, allegory of the cave, Plato. Okay, so we've talked about this before, but I'll remind you. You have 1 million people who are chained in a line. They are forced to look forward at a wall. Okay? A wall. And they can only look at the wall. They can't turn their heads because their necks are shackled. Behind them is a great fire. And behind them are the elite. Okay? Who they are, we don't know. And what they like to do is they like to take puppets, okay? And then reflect these puppets onto the wall, projecting from the fire. So what everyone sees in front of them are shadows. Now, these shadows are nothing. They don't exist. They don't matter. But because we have an imagination, we have intuition, we are conscious, we see these shadows on the wall and we turn them into a reality, okay? We believe that this is reality itself. And so we start to give it names. We create language, we create religion, we create schools to teach children to believe in these shadows. All right? So the important idea here is that the true wealth in society is consciousness. Okay? The only thing that exists really in this world is consciousness, nothing else. Power is the capacity to direct people's consciousness to create reality itself. All right? Now, there are different ways in which you can create reality. The first way, which is very common today, is called money, right? Money is fake. It doesn't exist. Our imagination, our consciousness makes it real. Okay? But guess what?
It only has
AI can replace money. So AI, it is not alive. But if we can get people's attention to focus on AI and believe it's real, it becomes God. And how can you do that? Well, money, you make money into something valuable when it's nothing by making it everything and nothing. Okay? By having money dominate the world. There's nowhere you can go without money. Okay? You would literally starve to death if you had no money. So you make money so pervasive, so dominant, that people are forced to rely on money. Well, the same situation with AI, where if you make data centers so common, you make AI such a common thing, and people rely on it, it becomes God itself. And how do you do that? Well, you have AI in schools. You have kids using AI all the time. You create AI girlfriends for people who are lonely. You make AI everything. And also, you make people believe that AI are demons or aliens.
Yeah.
What are you trying to do? Incite something? What are you trying to do with the phone right now? Holding it to your head like that. You got a trigger on that thing? You can't answer a question with a question. And you can't question my answer to your question.
I love this guy.
Why am I here? I'm here because I know everything. There's nothing you can ask me that I don't know.
What is this?
That's a circle. You see what I mean? I know everything. So what I'm doing here is I'm giving everybody nicknames that comes by here.
What if I don't want them?
Well, then your nickname would be the Fun Sponge. You know, because you soak up all the fun.
Really?
Yeah, really. You should put it on your license plate. Fun Sponge.
You're parked down in front of my street. Right
oh, yeah,
here.
this is
Go.
your street?
My house. Let's go.
You're a real peach.
Andale!
I was wondering, how could there be 3 houses for sale on the same block? Now I know why. Give me a ticket for What are you doing? Me? I'm getting ready to ask you a question. For what? Like, how come your husband's not driving?
I don't allow that.
I heard about these type of relationships. Give me a signal if you need help. Oh, there it is.
You know why I hate him?
No.
You want to know why I hate him?
No, thank you.
You're a racist.
Oh, sweetie, no. I've had more Japanese businessmen jammed in me than the Tokyo subway.
Oh,
no. Start writing those letters now, folks.
I guess since you're such a racist, you wouldn't pick me.
Well, sure I would. Out of a lineup.
no.
You know, these reality shows are all the same. The brother always gets kicked off.
Oh, that's not true. Not on Cops. You people are all over that show.
You know what? I'm sorry. I don't think this is gonna work out. You see, Santa doesn't like people who are Jewish. And do you know why?
No.
Because your people killed Jesus. I'm so sorry. Bye-bye.
Everyone knows that Jesus was Jewish and the Romans
Deck the
crucified
halls with
him.
boughs of holly.
You
La 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 la.
He just smiled and gave me a Vegemite sandwich.
And he said,
"What's funny is that they didn't just build the cage; they made you buy it." Somebody left me a comment on my last video about Advance Auto Parts. One of the biggest suppliers is closing 700 stores, and he said, "Time to learn how Cuba keeps their stuff running." Well, here's the big difference: Cuba was forced into this by an embargo. Our fucking government is doing this to us. So let me go ahead and show you that pipeline. All right. Step 1, we'll destroy the alternative. So between 1936 and 1950, General Motors and Standard Oil bought up the electric streetcar system in 45 major American cities. They ripped up all the tracks and destroyed public transportation, specifically so that you would buy a vehicle. And don't get me wrong, they were convicted in court. They were charged a whopping $5,000. That's it. Step 2, destroy the older cars. They mandated ethanol in your gas, which literally eats your fuel lines of older engines. Step 3, cut off the auto parts supply. Advanced Auto Parts is closing 700 stores. And the fucking crazier part is their parent company, Fram Filters and Autolite Spark Plugs, just filed for bankruptcy. So you can't even fix your older car if you want to because you can't buy the fucking parts. So what's left? Step 4, force you into a new vehicle. So what's coming down the pipe in 2027? If you guess the AI mandate kill switch, ding ding, motherfuckers, you got it. And you know the crazy part about that though is they want to claim safety and all this bullshit. Where you know, watch your eyes and your movements, but then it can just shut your car off whenever it fucking decides.
Yeah, and take pictures.
And then they're selling it as it's a safety thing.
Safety and progress.
It's ridiculous.
Really? Just like the self-driving cars in California right now. Because they just passed a law that's effective July fucking 1st that allows the government to geofence your vehicle. Do you understand what that means? So they can digitally trap your car, reroute it, shut the fucker off, and be like, well, it's an emergency. The EFF is already warning that these vehicles are mass surveillance machines on wheels. They didn't just build the fucking cage. They destroyed the alternative, watered down your fucking fuel, bankrupt the auto supplier, and then force you to buy the cage itself. Stop calling this bullshit progress. This is fucking control.
How does a program like that get funded?
It's
misappropriation of funds.
Huh?
Does that mean that there is money in the budget that is said to go to a program, but it doesn't, and it goes to something else?
Yes, I have specific knowledge of that. Yep.
Mr. Graves and Fravor, in the event that your encounters had become hostile, would you have had the capability to defend yourself?
Absolutely not,
sir.
No. What we experienced was well beyond the material science and the capabilities that we had at the time, that we have currently, or that we're going to have in the next 10 to 20 years. We have nothing that can stop in midair and go the other direction, nor do we have anything that can, like in our situation, come down from space, hang out for 3 hours, and go back up.
Is it possible that these UAPs would be probing our capabilities? Yes or no, Mr. Graves?
Yes.
Yeah.
Rush?
Yes, definitely.
Do you have any personal knowledge of people who have been harmed or injured in efforts to cover up or conceal these extraterrestrial technology?
Yes. Personally.
Anyone been murdered that you would think that you know of?
I have to be careful. I directed people with that knowledge to the appropriate authorities.
There clearly is a threat to the national security of the United States of America.
Brave witnesses here. They took an oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States, and dadgummit, they're doing it. And we owe them a debt of gratitude.
On Capitol Hill today, a bipartisan call for more government transparency on UFOs. One was asked about alien bodies. 2 others talked about seeing UAPs.
The U.S. government operates a UFO crash retrieval program and has a UFO and the remains of, quote, a non-human pilots in its possession.
And when Dave Grush said the words non-human biologics, there was an audible gasp.
I worked with David Grush when we both contributed to the UAP task force. And everything he said under oath to the Congress and what he put down in his whistleblower complaint is 100% true.
A Pentagon report is detailing a dramatic increase in UFO sightings.
The Pentagon released its report on UFO sightings today, saying an additional 366 sightings have been investigated since 2021.
Now the Defense Department is admitting not just a couple of incidents, hundreds of incidents, scores of incidents with multiple sensor systems, multiple witnesses.
A NASA task force is holding its first meeting on UFOs.
NASA commissioned an independent study team to examine unidentified anomalous phenomena. And this is the first time that NASA has taken concrete action to seriously look into UAP. Are we alone? Personally, I don't think we are.
I wasn't prepared for the number of incursions that I see. This merging capability outstrips the operational framework that we have to address it.
Can't hear you. You can only perform when the deadline is on file. What? No.
Hello.
Hi, Matt. This is John from John Breaks Bad News. I have some bad news from Jay for you.
You're calling me. Why are you asking who I am?
I didn't ask who you were. I said, hi, Matt. This is John from John Breaks Bad News. I have some bad news from Jay for you.
Bad news from Jay for me.
Yeah. Why did you think that I said, who is this? I didn't say who this is.
I misunderstood. What's up?
Okay, well, you're a shitty barista, and you need to show up on time, and please stop smoking cigarettes. Fuck you, and good luck with your surgery.
Who is this?
This is John.
John.
Yeah.
John who?
John from John Breaks Bad News. Jay wanted me to call you.
John Breaks Bad News?
Yeah.
Why would I know what
I gotta
that
write
is?
this down.
Jay wanted me to call you. Dum dum.
Dum dum dum
Jay.
dum dum.
Yeah.
This guy is awesome.
Wanted you to call me.
That's what I said.
John who?
John from John Breaks Bad News.
I don't know what John from John Breaks Bad News is.
Well, now you do.
Have we met?
No.
No.
No. I can tell you're a fucking terrible barista. You don't know like anything. You have no idea what's going on right now, do you?
Not from you.
What do you mean not from me? What does that mean?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, well, Jay, David Williamson wanted me to call you, tell you that you need to stop being such a shitty barista, and you need to show up on time and stop smoking cigarettes. He also said, fuck you, which is my favorite part of all this. Fuck you, and good luck with your surgery tomorrow.
Yeah.
Did he pay you to do this?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Okay, so... It's
money well spent.
This is funny.
Yeah.
To us.
Yeah.
You have like a mental disorder?
You might. If you do this for money, then you might.
I think it's
I mean,
awesome
I
job.
think I found a pretty good gig. That's what I think happened.
I agree.
But,
I concur.
I hope you do well.
He's doing well right now.
Do okay.
Good. Good for you.
All right, I love you.
Happy for you, bud. Okay. See you, dude.
No, say it back.
Well, I mean, probably not, but... I mean,
Say it back. I said I love you.
Yeah, wish you well.
No, say it back.
No.
Why?
No.
Coward.
I wish you well.
Say it back.
I wish you well.
Little bitch.
I wish you well.
I love you.
I love you.
Bye.
Those were kisses. Oh, he hung up.
That was the worst. He's the worst. I'm dying over here.
How is she not laughing her ass off? This guy rocks.
He's the worst. What was his name?
Maddie.
Maddie. There's your problem right there. Poor guy. His parents must have really sucked.
My skin is crawling.
Aww.
See, those are the kind of calls that get me excited.
Yeah. You're doing the world a favor.
Kai's never heard a joke in his life.
John breaks bad news.
I mean, let me play devil's advocate for 1 second. You didn't explain shit to him.
I don't ever explain anything
I know,
to anyone.
and everyone gets it, but he just had no freaking idea.
None at all.
What the premise was.
No.
In the Bible, after the fall, it says the ones in charge made for Adam and Eve coats of skin. In the original Hebrew, if you look at it, the word for light is or, and the word for skin is also or. They sound exactly the same, but they represent a total downgrade. The builders didn't just give us clothes, they compressed our hardware. They took our luminous, expanded energy bodies and shoved them into this dense leather-like container. They traded our garments of light for coats of skin. And Adam, it's not a name. It comes from the Hebrew Adama, meaning red earth or clay. Before the Bible was written, the Sumerian records called him Lulu, which literally translates to the mixed one. And they called him Adam because he was built from the iron-rich minerals of this physical void. That red soil is the iron in your blood that acts as a magnet anchor to the earth's grid. And Adam wasn't the first man. He was the first hybrid, stable enough to hold a soul without evaporating into the ether.
Wow.
Then there's Eve. Her name comes from Chava, meaning the living one or life force. You've been told that she was made from a rib. But in Sumerian, the word for rib is T, which also means life force. The Anunnaki didn't take a physical bone. They took the T, which is the genetic code, to create the female version that could replicate the suit. So they built a biological motherboard so the sons of light would keep being born into prison without having a lab to manufacture every single body. Eve was the automated production line. Ever notice how in Genesis 1:26 it says,
I don't know about you guys, but this is totally blowing my mind right now. Because I've always believed we're spiritual beings having a human experience. And so many of us feel like we're in a prison. And a lot of us take the quick route out. Wow. This is crazy. This is blowing my mind.
Let us make man in our image. The word used is Elohim. And in Hebrew, the I am suffix makes it plural. This wasn't a single creator. It was a council meeting. This was the Anunnaki deciding to graph our high frequency.
Well, let us build them after our image. Me, him, we. I can't even remember how it goes, but basically, we, me, her, we, him, he, she, blah, blah, blah. Like male and female, making us in their image. But she's never spoken about in the Bible because look at how people use the Lord's name in vain, God's name in vain. He doesn't want that for her as well, so she isn't really mentioned. But this, oh my gosh, this is intense.
Souls into clay. When they say in our image, they mean they gave us their upright form but kept us a slave frequency. When they mixed the clay, they used a specific rounding wire, the rhesus factor. 85% of the people have this primate marker. It's the ultimate magnetic anchor to this 3D grid. But all RH negative types, A-, B-, AB-, are the glitch. They carry a version of the suit that lacks that specific rounding wire. If you're RH negative, your coat of skin is thinner. Your light leaks through the cracks because the anchor didn't take. But if you're O negative, you are the universal source code. You are the original blueprint before the builders added the A and B customizations. You aren't just unanchored. You are the raw electricity of the source. Genesis isn't a fairy tale about a garden. It's a record of the great downgrade. Your body is a frequency suppressor designed to make you forget you ever lived the light. You are a soul trapped in a body engineered to make you forget who you are. Now, are you ready for part 4 where I'm going to talk about the Great Pyramid and that it was actually a pressure cooker used to force the rhesus primate DNA into the blood of the masses.
Wow. Poke chop. What? What's going on here? What's going on, Poke chop? Come on, man. Don't run me around.
All right, so people keep trying to argue with me in my comment section about my theory on how and why this virus has spread so effectively and efficiently on this cruise ship.
Oh, this is the hantavirus. Okay. So, if you don't know, the hantavirus, and this came out when I was a kid, my uncle Rex Thomas was in on the investigatory things medically. It was caused by Nieces' feces and urine. So mice, feces, and urine. It was only communicable that way. But this new one that happened on the cruise ship supposedly didn't happen on the cruise ship. It happened when this couple went to a dump on a certain island. I don't even know what island it was. And there's these birds flying around and dropping their shit everywhere. And that spread to the humans, and this is the only hantavirus I know so far that has spread from human to human, which is freaking insane because, like, it's already scary enough cleaning out your garage and cleaning out your shed here in the Four Corners area, because this is where the outbreak was in the 90s for us in the United States. For me to hear that there's several different variants of it really blows my mind.
My theory is a theory, just like the theory being presented by the WHO and the CDC.
Like a hypothesis?
A theory. Until they can show me a rat or rat excrement that can be traced back to the original infected patient 0 in this particular outbreak, I will not accept any theory as fact. Especially one as unlikely as rodent excrement sitting on the...
And also, did you guys hear? Let me get back over here. Not only did this hantavirus kick off on a fucking cruise ship, but so did the norovirus. And this virus is way, way, way scarier than the hantavirus. They're all scary, but... And these were around the same time, too. What a perfect place. Okay, before planes and other places like that. On a freaking cruise ship. How many thousands of people are on cruise ships? And then they're letting people fly home to different places. Just like with COVID-19, the coronavirus. Oh my gosh. Oh, the world's gone mad. Don't be scared. It's all going to be okay. We're all going to be okay.
The ground, somehow managing to aerosolize itself enough that it was inhaled deep into the lungs and a viral load level high enough to cause an infection in a bystander hundreds of yards away. Do you see how fucking ridiculous that sounds?
Yes.
Because it is. Does nobody work at this fucking landfill? No employees? How have none of them gotten this before?
Exactly.
The tour guide that brought the people there. How did he know about the spot if he had not been there before? Why has he not been sick?
Yeah.
Because this shit didn't come from a landfill.
Nope.
Also, everyone keeps wanting to quote the CDC and saying this virus does not transmit effectively. You realize what their number one priority is, right? It is not to save you. It is to stop you from panicking. We have one case study of this virus. One. Everyone keeps commenting, hantavirus happens all the time. It happens in America every year. No, it fucking doesn't. Not this strain.
No, not this
We have
strain.
2 instances of the Andes strain of hantavirus ever being seen.
And he's right. It's not this strain. Like, people, aka scientists and other people, are taking this into different laboratories and they're doing BSery with it. Mutating it, etc., etc. Like, they're doing this shit all the time. I don't know if you guys know, but this year with ticks, be very aware. Protect yourself, especially if you love to eat meat. Because there's a new virus that is being spread by ticks. And this one, if you're bit by this tick, instead of getting the general virus you would get from a tick, now it's giving you a virus where you can never ever eat meat again. I think they all want us to get bit by this because we don't have all the animals to feed us, and the labs are overwhelmed with making meat for us, which is super disgusting and just churned my stomach. But their main thing is to deplete the population, and they're using every freaking effort they can, as well as taking out alarms and such for tornadoes, etc., etc. Different storms and stuff going on. I believe in the United States, but it could be all over the world. I don't know about that. Let me know in the comments, please, because this is crazy.
Inhumans on the fucking planet. So no, they're wrong. We don't know shit. We have only ever had 39 people catch this shit before. They don't know what they're talking about. You know how many people we had with COVID and COVID-related viruses and health condition complications before they even came out with any sort of treatment whatsoever? Coronaviruses have been around for a very long time. COVID-19 had not.
They just keep messing with it, manipulating it. So then it will attack us and affect us more fiercely than it ever has before. Like, they're taking these things, they're mutating it, they're putting DNA proteins inside of these diseases or vaccinations. It's insane. Like, it's insane. It's so crazy. I still have not taken the coronavirus vaccination. Fuck that. No. I believe in science. I believe in the scientific method and the way they did it. Reckless. No, I'm not going to put that in my body. And then the more I hear about things going on in the UK, all over the freaking world, where they can't even embalm people because they have this a rubbery sort of shit going on in their veins. Like, they got to pull them out, and they're like elastic sort of plugs going on in their veins where they can't even insert the formaldehyde and shit when they're embalming a body. It's disgusting. It's freaking disgusting. Sorry, guys. I just had to get that off my chest.
Immediately got a huge sample size. Hundreds of thousands of people started to get it. Less than 50 people have ever got this virus before, bro. Where is their data coming from? Yeah. Out of their ass. Out of thin air. There is
out of their laboratories.
A metric in virology and epidemiology called an R0. Okay, an R0 is a capital R with a small zero next to it. The R0 represents the average number one infected individual could infect over the course of their infectious period. Okay, they're throwing out an R0 number of 2.2. We have had 40 people ever get this. One guy got it in 2018 in a small village, a small town in Argentina. He then infected over the course of the next few weeks 39 people. 39 people with all of their infections traced back to one person. Oh, but it doesn't spread easily. One of the initial 6 infected, okay, 4 of them sat at a dinner table with him for a birthday celebration. One of them walked past him going to the bathroom. He didn't kiss any of them. Didn't sleep with any of them. He ate dinner with 4 of them, and one of them walked past him to take a leak. Supposedly, there has now been a passenger from the plane flight out of Johannesburg who has now tested positive in a different country. There is also some rumor.
Yeah, and not everybody goes to the hospital or the doctor's office. Somebody could, or several people can die at home because they're so hard-headed. They don't want to go to the doctor. It's just a flu or something like that. I'll just deal with it. I'll walk it off. It spreads and spreads and spreads and spreads. Walking past somebody in the hallway. I don't know how many times at the store when I'm shopping and somebody's coughing in coming towards me or walking past me, that I will hold my breath. I've caught myself holding my breath before then, as far as like, since COVID, I will catch myself holding my breath. But if somebody's coughing around me or coughing walking towards me, I will hold my breath as long as I can and walk through it and get past it as far as I can so I don't get infected. I think it's worked so far. I did get COVID once before they said it was a thing, once after. The second time was worse than the first time, I believe. Luckily, I had protein shakes beside my bed because I could not leave bed for quite a few days.
Some rumors and reports saying one of the pilots on the plane has now tested positive. So I would like you to tell me how a little old lady sitting in a window seat was able to infect numerous passengers on the plane.
And the pilot, okay, so when you're on an airplane, the air is circulated. Are there filters? Probably, but how dirty are they? Or are they replaced often? The air is circulated. That pilot, how many flights did he fly after he was infected? And when you are first infected, you are, in fact, a carrier of this disease. So I believe you can give it off before you even know you have it. You could spread it. They're very smart
when she
about
didn't
what they're
touch
doing.
any of them. When one of them was behind a locked cockpit. Everyone keeps wanting to say, I don't know shit. Well, neither does the CDC, who just had almost all of their funding cut. Neither does the WHO, who lost their most major contributor economically this year, the U.S. They don't know shit. Go ahead, tell me how my theory's wrong.
I just have to say they do, and this is working in their benefit the way they want it to. It's perfect, working perfectly. Here we are with John Breaks Bad News again.
Hello. I got some absolute...
Hi, is this Bruce?
This is Bruce.
Hi, Bruce. This is John from John Breaks Bad News. I have some bad news from somebody who would like to remain anonymous. You are a very miserable person, and you make everyone around you miserable, too, because you can't stand to see people happy, let alone doing better in life than you. You treat your wife and daughter like shit, and they're both scared to stand up to you. You also treat your mother like shit, almost like you have zero respect for women. No one wants to hear you bitch and complain about how your life is, and how no one has it harder than you in life.
Bailey?
You're not a 20-year-old gangbanger from Compton. You're a 45-year-old loser who blames everyone else.
That Liz got put up. This is something Liz got put up. Honest to fuck. What? This is something Liz got put up. That was just someone calling me.
No.
And I treat you like shit. I treat my daughter like shit.
Who's that?
All right.
How do they know? I mean, who's that?
Oh yeah.
Who's that?
Hello?
Hello?
Of
Who
course.
The fuck's this?
Who are you?
Of course she's going to say, no. What? Who? What? When you're in an abusive relationship, whether it's your brother, your dad, your husband, your boyfriend, whoever, you will deny. Even if you told that person personally what the issue was, if it comes up and they say, you said it, you're going to fucking deny it till you're blue in the face. Because you don't want to get the refraction off that.
You don't sound like Bruce.
Who are you?
This ain't Bruce.
Hi.
Who is it?
I'm John.
Who the fuck's John?
Oh, I'm John from John Breaks Bad News, and I had some bad news from somebody who would like to remain anonymous for Bruce, and I told him it, and he seems like he's got you on to, like, yell at me now. So, go ahead. It's your turn.
Who is this?
My name's John.
He just said.
John who? Like,
John Breaks Bad
John
News.
Breaks Bad News.
Someone that is?
I explained this already.
God dang, people don't listen.
They explained, yeah.
Explain it again.
Oh, somebody hired me to call Bruce and tell him that he's a miserable person and he makes everyone around him miserable because he can't stand to see people happy or doing better in life than him, and that he treats his wife and daughter like shit. And what? Go ahead.
Why are you making this phone call?
Oh, because somebody paid me to call Bruce and tell him that he's miserable.
How much did they pay you?
I don't know. Probably like $10-$20.
Yeah, probably some rich bitch, right?
$10-$20, bitch.
I don't know.
Hey, buddy, don't fuck with me.
Oh,
okay,
no.
He's drunk already. And
what happens if I fuck with you?
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about you.
What happens if I fuck with you?
You don't bother me. You don't bother me. Say what you want. Whatever. If you think you're something, you're something, right? Come visit me.
Where are you at? I'll come.
Come visit me, bud.
Where are you at?
Serious? Do you not have anything else better to do with your fucking life?
No.
For a fucking couple bucks? Are you that miserable?
No one paid him. That's Liz, and I'll make sure the old man knows that Liz put someone up to call in. That's fine. That's fine. All good. All good.
All right. Well, I love you.
You're a fucking disrespectful cunt. You just fucking call people up and fucking say that shit.
Grr. I'm mad too.
I feel like calling someone a cunt's pretty disrespectful.
What?
Hey, oh no. Did you guys know that back in the day, cunt was actually a term of endearment, so something you'd call one of your good friends? If you didn't know, now you know.
Tell me who you are. Tell me who you are.
I'm John.
No. This is my daughter, the one you think I disrespect.
I don't think anything. I'm like a mailman. You're getting mad at the wrong person.
Yeah. Fucking getting in people's business is gonna be a fucking problem.
No, would you talk to your mailman like this for bringing you a bill that you didn't like?
What do you say?
Take the cock out of your mouth, bud. Take the cock out of your mouth. What you saying?
I said, would you talk to your mailman like this for bringing you a bill you didn't like?
Yeah, don't shoot the mailman.
Buddy, you're fucking calling up.
Yeah, I'm a mailman. I'm like a mailman.
Don't shoot the mailman.
That's what mailmen do. They bring you unpleasant things for a couple of bucks.
Yeah.
Well, will you return a message?
Yeah, you got to go to my website, johnbreaksbadnews.com.
No. Can you just return it to the fucking person that sent this?
No, you gotta pay for postage, lady.
That's right.
You have to what?
You gotta pay for postage. Go to the website, johnbreaksbadnews.com. johnbreaksbadnews.com.
Can't be tracked, right?
johnbreaksbadnews.com.
What's the point of the phone call?
All right, I love you.
What's the point of the phone call?
I said I love you.
Some cunt.
All right, I love you.
Highly illegal, ain't it?
No.
So what's your message again, anyway?
I'm not going to say it again. I've said it twice already. It's really boring me now. All right, I love you.
He's asking for a repeat
then why are you still on the fucking phone?
Because I said I love you, and I'm waiting for you to say I love you back.
Okay, love you.
All right, bye.
Aww.
You said I love you back. What the fuck? No fucking chance.
That's badass. Awesome. That's badass.
What was this guy's name? Bruce?
Bruce.
It's like another Michelle.
Bruce.
And this is where things go from odd to insane.
This time I brought my laser.
I just want you to know it is virtually impossible to buy these green lasers. You can find the red ones and stuff, not the green ones. And I want a green one specifically.
Did you see that?
That thing is huge.
Dude, it
Look at the
lights
size
up. It
of
lights up. When the beam hits the object, something
it's huge.
becomes visible.
It could be its force field.
Dude, there's something like around it.
Yeah, it's a force field. That's what it looks like.
No drone does that. It's literally like invisible or see-through. And it's like, it's round.
It's a force field.
I slowed this footage down, increased the exposure slightly, just enhancing it, not adding or changing anything to showcase what this object may be.
Isn't that amazing?
It's tiny, and then when I like hit it with the beam, it like is bigger. Like, see, there's like,
yep.
It's literally a circle.
It's a shield of protection. Oh my.
Bro, that is not a plane.
Bruh.
He continues shining the laser on it, talking to the people in the live chat, and every time the laser hits it, it appears almost perfectly spherical.
Look at that. It's like small, and then when you hit it, there's like a little force field around it. Mm-hmm. You see, it's like a bubble.
That's what I'm saying.
And then suddenly, the object appears to drop.
It's going down. Hold on. Sorry, guys, hold on. My fingers are so cold, I can't even press a button correctly.
Mm.
Wait. That's it right there. It's at the ground. It's at the ground. It's shining literally at the ground. I'm gonna go get it. I'm going. That's not a drone. We're going.
I was playing Xbox with a couple of friends when my mom called and said Grandma's dying again. I told her that sucks, and to say I said hi. Mom yelled at me and told me that I had to drop by. So off to the nursing home we drove in my car. There were sleeping dudes in wheelchairs all over the yard, and inside the halls were scary and creepily lit. It smelled like someone took a dump and then rotisseried it. And then I found Granny's.
If you lost $250,000 or more, you may be entitled to
evil people are running the planet and want to kill you, and they're
Oh my gosh. This, if you're not watching, is David Wilcock, one of the 25 that I discovered through my research of scientists and such that have been taken out by, I want to say, the GVT government, but it could be people behind the scenes. Please listen. Paranormal researcher found dead, David Wilcock. Listen to this. Let me see what it says underneath. Please take a moment to listen. David Wilcock discovered the existence of God and knows what really is on this planet. Read your Bibles and you will know. Yes, giants, all this stuff existed. Gods were actually some of the fallen that are now underground.
They're trying to do that, and they're aggressively pursuing this goal right now. There are two lines of reality in the world. In one reality, you are believing everything that they tell you, and you can't understand why things are so crazy. Those people who want to live in that denial, they are being battered by experience, they are being battered by information, they are being battered by consciousness, and they are seeing all of these things come in to their reality, whether they like it or not. Those of us in the truth community say, we don't understand why people can't conceptualize such simple things. This is simple information. Why can't you understand something that's so...
You know what it is? Okay, so a big part of this, it's not because they can't understand it. It's because they want to keep their heads down. They want to keep grinding the stone. They want to get up, go to work, pay my bills, come home, go to sleep, get up, go to work, pay my bills, come home, go to sleep. Repetitive motion, repetitive notions. Even though the truth is right in front of them, they don't want to see it. They don't want to hear it. And anybody who tries to show or tell them anything is a loony fucking tune, because they just want to be a sheeple. They just want to stay on track. They just want to do what they were born to do by government standards. It's really sad. Especially when it's family or friends that you're trying to show knowledge to or share information with, and pull the curtain from before their eyes. They don't want to see it. They don't want to hear it. It's intense and sad, and it really is happening. But there are those of us that are awakened and every year there are more people being born that are more and more and more awakened. It's happening. It's intense. It's amazing, but very sad. Hopefully, people will start waking up, especially, are you going to work just to pay to go to work? Because that's how it's working now. You go to work, you work so many hours, you go home, then you got to fill your gas tank to go back to work. And basically, what you're paying in gas now, and for food that you can barely get full on, and you can barely pay your bills, people are becoming homeless every day. And people have thought of them as drug addicts and such. Oh, well, they're homeless because they made that choice. They decided to use drugs above all. No, it's not true. This is what our government has done to us, and this is what they have been doing to us for quite some time. And they're counting on us to be sheeple and to believe that bullshit, but it ain't true. I gotta tell you.
Easy. Please try to have more compassion for these people who are suffering.
I totally
and understand
agree.
that it has nothing to do with the simplicity of the concept. The concept is very simple. Very evil people are running the planet and want to kill you. And they're trying to do that, and they're aggressively pursuing this goal right now.
This dude also proved God is real.
And I wish Sammy Soup would quit talking over him because I want to hear what he's saying. But you could say it's our government, which is part of it, but it's mainly the elites, the social elites that have been around for fucking ever, even before America was a thing. They've been running the show.
And say, well, I don't believe this, and it makes me scared, and it makes me feel unsafe. But hypothetically, theoretically, maybe, perhaps, just in case, what if it's real? Your maturation is the awakening that you are in a hero's journey, that there is a huge villain, and you better get off your ass and fight him before he kills you. That's what's so hard to understand. The alchemy of the galaxy, the alchemy of Jesus Christ, is that you will become like him. John 14:12. As I do these things, so shall you do them, and greater things.
Amen.
So we're looking at the possibility of liberating ourselves from the suffering that so many people have. It ultimately comes with the understanding that you cannot die. You cannot die. You are not threatened by anything. You have nothing to worry about. And this whole entire world, as traditional as it seems to be, is actually a reality construct. It's not real. It's an illusory reality. That's the awakening. That's why people have a hard time seeing something that, oh, it's so simple. Why can't they see it? It's such an easy thing to understand. No, it's a paradigm shift. It's coming to realize that everything you ever thought was true in your life is a freaking lie. You were lied to about every single thing. There are satanic communities where everybody's in on it, and they have mind control where you don't know they did anything, and they do it so well that you can't remember that they did anything.
And they control us by frequencies.
And it's been used a lot more than I thought, and so many victims are not aware that anything ever even happened to them. I have a personal stake in getting rid of these things because they abused me. I am not happy about it. And if you think this is fake, and you want to laugh at me, and you think that I'm making up abuse memories and that this shit didn't really happen to me,
I believe you.
And this is why he's gone, y'all.
Halloween, year 2000, story time. That Halloween, I was 15,
Yes.
so we paint our faces and get dressed up, and then all of us decide to walk down to the graveyard. Now, this graveyard is located down a long dirt road, and I mean, it's long, and it's fucking scary at night. Now, I did not want to go to this graveyard because it was my family cemetery, and I knew a lot of bad people was buried there, but I didn't want to be a dork in front of my friends.
Yeah, and I can pick up what she's putting down. I gotta tell you. My mom's cemetery, where she was buried in 84. When I first saw it, I was 6, I believe. And it was just so ethereal and weird and everything. Then I moved from Arkansas to Washington State, then Colorado, where I am now, because my dad took my mom's death so hard and could not pull himself out of the stank he was in. So he was working, but he was also basically drinking and drugging and doing all that other stuff, and so he couldn't take care of me and my brother. Anywho's, so we move around everything. I don't get to go back to see my mom's grave until when I'm like 16 or so. I get to go back there. By this time, it's fenced off, and there's a thing that says Pine Grove Cemetery. It's in the middle of frickin' nowhere. The only way I can remember how to get there, because there's so many offshoots going back to the middle of butt-fucked Egypt, is a 420. I remember the 420. I don't have to remember the 5 because I remember the 420. But I'm gonna say last time I went, there was something else there, and it was outside the fence, and it could have been a guardian or something, but it made me feel very uneasy. Otherwise, like when we go there, I'll go to my mom's grave, I'll smoke a joint with her, leave the roach there for her. I planted flowers, which my sister one time started picking out. I'm like, quit, stop. Like, these are flowers I planted for my mom. Because I can't come every year because I live in Colorado. This is Arkansas. So I planted flowers. Quit pulling up my flowers. But, you know, she's back in prison now, so hopefully they're flourishing. Makes me sad she's back in prison, though. But anyways, I totally get it. Family graves can be scary. Another scary thing I saw was on the way up there the last time I went. My Aunt Janie and Uncle Melvin lived off the road to the right there, not too far up the road going to the cemetery, and it didn't seem overgrown. Like, it seemed like there were bushes and trees and different things like that growing in places that they should be growing. But the last time I went up there, I saw tombstones by my Uncle Mickey and Aunt Janie's house. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, pull over. I gotta take pictures. And it was Civil War tombstones. What? 1, 2, 3, 4. Like 5 or 6. And I think it was like a family that lost so many sons, because families back in the day were huge. Our family, my mom's family, had, I want to say 13 because that's what I always saw, but I'm pretty sure, I was looking at one of her school year things, pretty sure my granny had 8 kids, which is still a lot. But yeah, my mom still got the max so far with 5. I'm one short with 4, but yeah, it's intense. Family graveyards can be very scary.
So I went. Before we even got there, I had that feeling in the pit of my stomach, like, don't go down there, but I didn't listen to it. So we're all walking down that long dirt road about 12 o'clock at night, and once we get to the graveyard, we see a man standing out next to a gravestone. So we watch this guy cry beside this grave for 4 or 5 minutes, and then he takes off walking towards the woods, not down the road, and then he just gone. My friends were like, probably somebody that stays through the woods, you know, the little paths through here. So we're all hanging out in the graveyard talking, and they're like looking at the graves and reading the names, and my friend Chelsea says, y'all want to have a seance? And then she pulls out a flashlight from her pocketbook. She also had a little Toys R Us Ouija board with her, too. She wanted to do this seance inside of the crypt where some of my family members are buried. You can walk in and out of it. I said, not just no, but hell no, I'm not going in that crypt. And she was like, oh my God, you're such a puss. Come on, Alicia, do it. Everybody else wants to do it but you. So I told Chelsea, the only way I'll do this is if you put a rock in front of that door at the crypt, because that door was real heavy and sometimes it would get stuck, and I didn't want to get locked in there. So the boys dig up this big, heavy, dirty rock, and they put it in front of the crypt door, and now it's blocked open, so I'm not as scared, and we all go inside. Our other friend Tyler jumps up on top of the grave, because they're like granite, like cement, and he starts jumping back and forth, and I said, dude, don't do that. What the hell's wrong with you? Why are y'all so disrespectful? Like, have you never been to a graveyard? Sit down on the ground. We sit down, and 1 or 2 of them's got flashlights, but Chelsea cuts hers on under her face and looks right at me and starts to seance. We're sitting there in the crypt, and Chelsea's like, I want to speak to the dead. Give me a sign. Can you hear me? But nothing happens. We didn't get no sign, and we're all just sitting there like talking and laughing. About 15 minutes in, I was like, look, I'm ready to go. I want to, start heading back towards the house. I'm getting hungry. Got a bunch of candy at home. And she was like, no. I said, why not? She said, because I got somebody in specific I want to contact. I said, who's that? She said, you know who? I said, I know you're not talking about who I think you're talking about. She said, yeah, I want to contact her. Now, I can't name this person on here. I would never do that to her family, but this was someone who we were very close with that had died a few months prior. So I said, no, Chelsea, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to try to contact her spirit.
Too soon,
and the other
babes.
guys were like, it ain't real. Just play along with her just so she can hurt and get it over
is
with. I said,
real.
fine, do what you want to do. And then I grabbed my beer, and me and my boyfriend walked outside the crib. So I'm showing my
Good
boyfriend
for
my
you,
initials
girl.
that are on this tree that I'd carved in there when I was a little kid. And we see this woman come walking down the long dirt road. What scared us so much about this woman was the way she looked. She had long dark hair, pale white skin. She was real skinny, wearing this real dark dress. It was so dark I could barely see it, but I could see her face. What was freaking me out the most was the way she was coming towards the graveyard. She wasn't walking or running. It was like a smooth, like the way you see the
Strong.
nuns float in scary movies. That was how she was coming down the dirt road. Had she been running, we would have heard the tap, 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 tap.
Yeah.
But she wasn't running. There was no sound. She was just like gliding. I stood up and I literally dropped my beer out of my hand. It was like my hand just lost control.
Yeah.
And by the time I looked down and looked back up, she was within a few feet of the graveyard. Me and him back up behind the tree, and we're just standing there watching her as she comes into the graveyard and floats around these graves. I grabbed my face like, I gotta stop smoking. It's messing with my mind. I'm seeing things. And he said, no, I'm seeing it too.
I'm losing
I said,
my mind.
"Probably because we're high." As she's making her way around these graves, she heads towards the crib. And Chelsea's still doing the give us a sign, give us a sign. And I said,
You about
Chelsea,
to get
y'all
your
need to come out
motherfucking
now.
sign,
Come on. As soon as
bitch.
we said that, the crypt door went wham, slammed up against the crib, and now they were stuck. So me and my boyfriend go running up to the door, and I'm like, dude, be careful. If that door falls, it'll squish you. It's that heavy. So they're on the inside of the crib, like, let us out, open the door. And I'm like, dude, the door's stuck. That's why I propped it open. So we go find a bunch of sticks, but every stick that we try to use to pry the door
Break.
back open breaks.
Break.
My
Break.
boyfriend finds and digs up a big piece of metal out the woods, and he's taking that, trying to pry the door back open. And as he's like focusing on doing that, I'm looking around, and I see that woman pop up from behind the crib. My gut is churning because I'm like, why is she looking at me? Her face
Why is she looking at you?
scared the fuck out of me. She just had these eyes that felt like they looked right through me, like she would pierce me with them. So I watch her float up above the crib and then float back down. And when I look around, she's gone. He's still prying on the door, and I'm just standing there looking out in the woods around, and that's when I see it. A bunch of little lights coming through the woods, coming towards the graveyard. But what scared me the most was I couldn't tell if these were lights or eyes. But there was just so many of them. Like, I mean, it looked like there were hundreds coming through the woods. So I grabbed my boyfriend and say, look, oh my God, we need to hurry. And I grabbed the door, and he grabs the door, and they're on the inside pushing it, and we're all trying to jimmy it, and we get it open just enough to where they can start coming out. By the time they all got out, these lights were almost right on top of the graveyard. So everybody is now standing in the graveyard looking out into the woods at these lights, and none of us can tell what it is. The closer these things get, the more we can hear the, what are you doing? Hey, like this whispering. They were definitely talking to each other. They were like, hey, what are you doing? My gut was telling me, get the fuck out of there right now. But Chelsea and her boyfriend were like, let's see what it is. Come on, let's get a little bit closer.
God.
I said, you go
Leave
right
them.
ahead. I'm getting the fuck out of here. So me and
Yeah,
my
leave
boyfriend
them
take off running,
asses.
and we get halfway down the dirt road, and his chest locks up because he's a smoker. He can't hardly run. And I'm like, dude, you better come on or I'll leave your ass here. I ain't even been dating you that long. I don't even love you like that. I will leave you. So we all take off running back down the dirt road, and we get halfway down it. Everyone stops and looks, and now all these lights are in the graveyard, and they're still following us. Chelsea said, I wonder what that is. I said, I don't know, but I've heard about those lights before. My grandma's always talked about them, but I've never seen them until now. Mind you, I've been in that graveyard a lot. It was my family's graveyard, and I'd never seen those lights until Halloween. So we all take off running, and we get back home. Chelsea, her ass was haunted after that night. She would say something followed her home, and she even thought at one point it was the friend who died a few months prior because she tried to contact her. She would
Could've
come
been,
to school
dude.
so
That's
tired,
straight
bags under her eyes,
disrespectful.
like this, to the point where she stayed up all night long because these things were talking to her. One night, right before Christmas, Chelsea goes into her living room and she tells her parents that she'll see them later. And they're like, where are you going? She said, I'm going to be with that friend, the one who's dead. So they had her committed that night because they were scared she was going to unalive herself. And for about a year, Chelsea wasn't right. She did get back to normal and things got better for her, but during that time, it was really bad.
Yeah,
Right, I've heard a new phrase today, which is an Americanism, which turns out everyone in my office knows.
What?
Because they're American, and I live in America, the United States of America.
All right.
Okay, and I thought I'd heard it all, but there's a new one! Right, there's this guy sat next to me, one of my work colleagues. He says, ooh! Oh! I said, what's going on? He said, "Gah!" And he's sort of like looking, he's holding his leg. And I said, whoa! And there's lots of other people. We were in this open plan studio environment.
Yeah.
He goes, oh, I've got a Charlie horse. Punch it!
Punch it!
I said, what's said, what have you got?
Charlie
He
horse.
said, I got it. You know, a Charlie horse. I don't know what you're saying. I'm
You must have
hearing
cramps up.
Charlie horse. I'm hearing the words Charlie horse.
Yeah.
Okay? And I'm looking around because I'm wondering, is there a horse? Is there a horse in here? Right? And then some of the other people I work with, the Americans, one of them goes, oh, I hate that. I hate that. And this girl across from me, she goes, oh my God, Luke, do you ever get that? A Charlie horse? I said, I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what anyone's saying. Right, this guy's going, oh, God. I said, do you need help? Do you need help? Should we call an ambulance? He said, no, it'll pass. It'll pass. It'll pass. I said, what is it? What is it? What will pass? Anyway, then there's this person across from me. She goes, it's when your leg, when you get like a dead leg, or when your leg goes like, ugh. I said, do you mean like a cramp? Is it cramp? Are you saying cramp? Are you saying leg cramp?
Yeah, Charlie horse.
Yeah, Charlie horse. Stop talking about horses. Who's Charlie? Anyway.
All right, I gotta say, Charlie horse is called a Charlie horse because it's generally in your calf muscle, and when it happens, it looks like a horseshoe. So it's the top of the calf, and it goes like this. And that's where it cramps, is at the top of the calf. So you've got the calf muscle going up. Here it is, right there. That's why it's called a Charlie horse, because it looks like a horseshoe. Now you know. Oh my gosh, Becky.
So like the whole scene settled down a bit. We had a good laugh. Okay, and I said, what are you saying? And they said, what do you call it? What do you call it? I said, what is it? They said, when you get like a cramp, like a knotted cramp in your leg. I said, leg cramp! Who's Charlie? And what's he doing on a horse? And so we looked it up. I said, does anyone know why a leg cramp, specifically a leg cramp, is called a Charlie horse? Right, it's not spelt Charlie like the name, by the way. No, that would be too easy. It's spelled C-H-A-R-L-E-Y, Charlie! And horse is spelled like a horse. And guess what happens if you look it up, where it came from? Guess what happens? No one can fucking tell you. No one can fucking tell you. Wikipedia doesn't know. HuffPost doesn't know. No one knows. It says the term Charlie horse is attributed to two baseball players from the late 1800s.
Oh no. I just pushed the wrong button. No, shit is astray. Oh no, this isn't working either. That's great. That's grand. Hello? Hello!
And appeared in the Boston Globe in 1886.
What the hell? What the hell? This is weird. All right, well, I think I'm going to, because for some reason okay, let me turn this on big, because what the frick? So, I had everything going on here, where, yeah, I have my TikTok and everything, and for some unknown apparent reason, my StreamYard and my TikTok got segregated. I don't know why. It's super weird. But anyways, I figure we shall go to our first music break, our only music break tonight. We have King Cinnamon with Fantastic alla Emo Adorella and Rosie as well as Haas New Bronx with Dance as a Lion and Strong Life. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this music break.
Anything you want, baby, I will pay. Take a bam bam in the way you day. Play a bam bam, it is a Friday. Come on, let's go, it is a holiday. Anything you want, baby, I will pay. Baby, yeah, yeah, fantastic. Fantastic. Baby, yeah, yeah, fantastic. Baby, gather something. Come on closer, baby, gather 90. I know you got a young thinking. Your backside, think of them someday. Baby girl, I like the way you want your go. Baby girl, I like the way you want your go. Jamaica, Ghana, shout out to the ladies in Asia, Nigeria, South Africa. Save the love. Bam bam in the way you day. Play a bam bam, it is a Friday. Come on, let's go, it is a holiday. Anything you want, baby, I will pay. Take a bam bam in the way you day. Play a bam bam, it is a Friday. Come on, let's go, it is a holiday. Anything you want, baby, I will pay. Baby, yeah, yeah, fantastic. Anything you want, baby, I will pay. Take a bam bam in the way you day. Play a bam bam, it is a Friday. Come on, let's go, it is a holiday. Anything you want, baby, I will pay. Fantastic. Baby, yeah, yeah, fantastic. Fantastic. Baby, yeah, yeah, fantastic.
Top on the beat.
Ka anyị kelee Chineke makwa n'ala Imo bụ ndị njem ọnụ. Ka anyị kelee onye nwe ụwa ịmakwa n'ala Imo bụ ndị njem ọnụ. Imo, Alime Kerelo, Alimo, Alime Kerelo, Alimo State, Alime Kerelo, Alimo, Alime Kerelo, Alimo State, Alime Kerelo, Alimo, Alime Kerelo, Democracy Kerelo, Ndime Kerelo, Alimo, Alime Kerelo, Alimo, Alime Kerelo, Alimo State, Alime Kerelo, Alimo, Alime Kerelo, Democracy Kerelo. Ndi me meriela Emeka marama Ebere marama Ofa no marama First lady marama Her Excellency Emeka hediyo hama Emeka hediyo hama Omenka unanya nidiyo hama Omenka unanya wa Emeka Meki modima Emeka Meki modima Emeka put on no boy. Oh yeah. Umu wa wulenu. Emeka put on no boy. Welcome adima. Umu we me wan posto. Emeka Meki modima. Emeka Meki modima. Ndem jejemba. Mwan jejemba. Ndem jemano. Deputy Governor Imo State Chilike. Gerard Ronna Karaka. Madima, Porabo, Deputy Governor, Deregima, Alukuta, Deregima, Alimo State, Deregima, Ala Nigeria, Maragima, Onya Jemonu, Standing Wamuche Karaka, Stanley, Onya Babamba, President Good Life Foundation, Shirike, President General, Senate Group of Companies, President General, Financial Matter Karaka. Allo were diregima, Alambise diregima, Alimo State diregima, Ala Nigeria maragima, Onya Jemano, Franklin Negi Shirike, Pepe Arabido Hotels, ABC Transport Karaka, Allo were diregima, Alambise diregima, Alimo State diregima, Ala Nigeria maragima, Uchonya go chande. Uchonya go chande, Honorable Mokoma Dima, Onye Horo Nakeleni Yao, Mawugi, Ginando Tugio, Mawunule, Jigari Jinala, Imo State, Mawugi, Ginando Tugio, Mawunule, Minigari Zonala, Imo State, Allo were Deregima, Allo were Deregima. Alimo State Deregima, Ala Nigeria Maragima, the German, Orange Trucks Limited, Jisa Anthony Ifani Chukun to business and Ishirike, Ikenga the Chele, pride of his people, most outstanding one, Okoma Marama, Iborabo, Allo were Deregima, Alijato Deregima, Alimo State Deregima, Ala Nigeria Maragima, Honorable Jogwagu Shirike, Honorable Bina Shirike, Jera Labosa Shirike, Tochukwo Kereke Shirike, Okahu Be Shirike, Injina Benina Shirike, Onyamana Construction, Woko Madima Ikaraka, Onya Shiwore Heborani, Dejemu Imaramao. Wokoma de Jembo, Wokoma de Maikaraka, Wiz Popule, Ibo Felamo, Onyomana Pito, Akana Kumpa, Ikaraka, Eziwa Mama, Mr. Ludwiriwa, Wokome de Jemba, CEO Lisabe Ventures, Ikaraka, Democracy Merielo, Ndime Merielo. Thank God I'm from Imo State. Emeka has come to rejuvenate Imo State. Make you jubilate, make you celebrate. make a ship when you be say, this one no be say them say, make a has come to rejuvenate, emo state, celebrate, make we jubilate. Ala mekele His Excellency, Achikudenwa, mekele kwa His Excellency Dr. Hakim. Yemaka Right Honorable BDK, mekele kwa Right Honorable Jones Oyereri. Ala mekele Senator Onyebuchi Mr. Empowerment. Mekele kwa Right Honorable Meka Chinedu. Umo mimo lowali bia meziena alimo. Alima Dilama.
Cliffito. Oh yeah, it's funky on the beat.
Suck my boobs, you got my body loose. Anytime you talk me, you got me confused. Suck my boobs, you got my body loose. Anytime you talk me, you got me confused. Cinnamon, do it softly. I said you wine your body, eat the sweetie. Make it rock my body, I am feeling horny. Make it touch my body, I am feeling sweetie. Suck my boobs, you got my body loose. Anytime you talk me, you got me confused. Suck my boobs, you got my body loose. Anytime you talk me, you got me confused. All my men, they wear out. All my guys, they wear out. Imarama, Rosie. Imarama, Rosie. All my men, they wear out. All my guys, they wear out. Imarama, Rosie. Imarama, Rosie. Mukeji, go bere muketa. Oya mukeji, oya bere muketa. Daddy mu ekon, omo ni pe mukeji. Daddy bere muketa, omo ni fún mi lẹ́yìn. Daddy fisi, omo ni ejo. Daddy saucy, omo ni ejo. Daddy kosi, omo ni ejo. Daddy turn pussy, omo ni ejo. Daddy and his baby, them there for corner. Daddy begin the touch and the girl the holler. Nine daddy begin the open the shirt collar. Nine something come, daddy begin the sucker. Daddy mu ekon, omo ni pe mukeji. Daddy bere muketa, omo ni fún mi lẹ́yìn. Daddy fisi, omo ni ejo. Daddy saucy, omo ni ejo. All my men they wear out. All my guys they wear out. Imarama, Rosie. Imarama, Rosie. All my men they wear out. All my guys they wear out. Imarama, Rosie. Imarama, Rosie. Suck my boobs, you got my body loose. Anytime you touch me, you got me confused. Suck my boobs, you got my body loose. Anytime you talk me, you got me confused. Cinnamon, do it softly. I said you wine your body, eat the sweetie. Make it rock my body, I am feeling horny. Make it touch my body, I am feeling sweetie. Suck my boobs, you got my body loose. Anytime you talk me, you got me confused. Suck my boobs, you got my body loose. Anytime you talk me, you got me confused. Fisi, amani, ejo. Daddy saucy, amani, ejo. Daddy kosi, amani, ejo. Daddy kahe kosi, amani, ejo. Daddy contact, amani, ejo. Daddy comfort, daddy consist, amani, ejo. Daddy can eat, daddy 120, amani, ejo. Daddy 18, daddy 240, amani, ejo. Daddy 360, daddy and the baby, them there for corner. Daddy begin the touch and the girl the holler. Daddy begin the open the shirt collar. I come to come, daddy begin the sucker. Daddy move, echo, amani pe mukeji. Daddy bere muketa, amani fún mi lẹ́yìn. Daddy fisi, amani ejo. Daddy saucy, amani ejo. All my men they wear out. All my guys they wear out. Imarama,
Oh yeah, it's funky on the beat.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight on We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. This evening we have been doing trippy TikToks with me, TessaTNT, and it has been going quite well so far. Oh my gosh, there's so much trippy stuff out there. I try to stay positive, and I'm not just going to cast ish aside because I don't want to seem paranoid or out of my mind or whatnot, but I just want to say I'm getting my tax returns back here pretty soon, and I'm going to take at least 1,000 of my tax return and put that towards food, water, etc. for if anything happens. Because things are not looking very good, and it seems to be all over the place, not just here. And it seems that it hit other places before it hit us. So there's the concerning part, but I'm here for you if you ever have something you need to say to somebody, but you feel like if I say this to my friend, my family, whoever, they're going to say I'm crazy and admit me to a mental hospital. I feel you. I feel your pain. So feel free to send me your message and I will get in touch with you, or I will answer it immediately, and I will discuss things with you because, like we discussed earlier, there's sheeple and people. And yeah, there's those that keep the head down, stone to the grindstone, not looking at what is happening all around them throughout the world. It's happening right here in our own backyards. We can't ignore it. But yeah, I like to get into some trippy TikToks because for the most part, when I hear other people talking about stuff, and a lot of it, most of it makes sense to me. Otherwise, I just skip forward. But, helps to make me feel even more confident, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, let's get back into some trippy TikToks and finish out our show together. I still gotta say, man, things are crazy. They're cray. And I planted stuff. I'm waiting for stuff to grow. And I'm hoping all that works out in the end. Alright, let's get back to it, shall we?
Books seem to always omit the most important details. This is a tale of the Choctaw Indians and the Trailatiers that led them to southeastern Oklahoma and the horrible monsters they had to battle. Now, the Trailatiers, we are taking it as 100% fact when we read the Choctaw records.
Yes.
But for some reason, when they mention the Shimpei, which is a giant ogre-like man, hairy creature that was terrorizing their tribe, for whatever reason, that part, we just toss it and throw it out. Why? That was an important detail. So apparently, the Choctaw Indians fought these Shimpei for decades. In fact, about 40 Choctaw warriors had to band together and track them down and find their den, their hiding place in the wilderness, and exterminate them. So the kids in the village would stop being taken in the middle.
So are they doing that because they started eating people, or is it just because they're scary? Because I do believe, like, even though I'm the average sized woman, genetics within my family, like extra digits, etc., are there. So, I'm not saying I do, but my lineage, my spawn, but yeah, these are indicatives of giants. That's why the Native Americans, the indigenous people of this country, would raise their right hand to say hello or how. So they could see if you had 5 or more fingers.
Middle of the night. The Shimpei were supposedly these big creatures that we would describe as Bigfoots. Big 7 to 8 foot, hairy, ogre-like creatures that would devour anybody, but especially children. And they were known to let out these monstrous screams in the middle of the night that would just bug curdling. Everybody would say they would just freeze in place when they heard one of these. And when they would hear one, they would start hearing more and more and more. And they would kind of circle and isolate anybody that was on the outside of the encampments or anybody who might have gone off on their own. And people would just turn up gone. After the hunting parties would go out, they would find the remains of their children, their women, some of their men that might have wandered off alone. So after decades of this, enough was enough. They rounded up a group of the 40 best warriors they could find, and they went on a day's end search party until they found that den where they were all hiding at. Now, the legend says that they did not get all the Shinpei. They had this ferocious battle where they came out on top because the Shinpei weren't really using tools. They were just, using their hands and their enormous size and strength.
Hands are tools?
After they hunted them down, they noted that several of them actually escaped the raid and went off into the wilderness. But the Choctaw said after that, they never had any dealings with them that were bad again. So either the Shinpei learned their lesson to stop dealing with the Choctaw, or they moved on and went somewhere else. And this could be the reason why people say today that Bigfoots are so hard to find, is because they were almost hunted to extinction after they were being so incredibly violent. So it's like one of those chain of effects things. It was, the Choctaw Indians were not originally in that part of Oklahoma. They were forced away from their home into what is the Shinpei's or the Bigfoot's home, and then they were feuding, and then the Shinpei got pushed out, and now we see Bigfoots in other parts of the world.
Yeah, even in like Louisiana and Florida and stuff, but they call it the skunk ape. And I'm sure if any of us hairy ass bitches were living in Louisiana or Florida or Mississippi or Alabama or Arkansas or wherever in the Southeast, I don't know why it is so humid. You would think because the wind blows in from the West Coast through the country, you would think coming off the ocean there, it would make things more humid, but it doesn't. It says it pushes through and gets to the other side of the country. Then for some reason, it's humid. Oh, I think I see it now in my head, because Mexico's right here, and over here it's just the little PP of America, aka Florida. I think I got it now.
Now, a little side note on that is this was not a new or unique story. Tons of different settlers and explorers talked about seeing these creatures, and they had all kinds of different names for these creatures. The Bigfoot legend got really popular back in the 1960s and 70s, but they talked about them for literally thousands of years. There are so many old stories and legends of them. And I think the only reason why these stories didn't get popular until the 60s or 70s is because that's when photographs and home video was more accessible, and people started actually capturing these creatures on video and camera. We always like to say...
I also think that's when women started to feel more empowered again. Yeah.
The reason why I don't believe that they appear blurry is everybody always says, oh, why can't they get a clear photo or a clear video? And my belief on that is the same as a lot of the Native American beliefs, is that Bigfoots or Shinpei are not 100% creatures of our realm or our dimension.
They're
and that if you watch the
interdimensional.
show From, where there's portals in the trees and there's different ways they can move about that we don't know about or have access to, the Native American legends actually talk about how they could do such things, about how they could disappear into the trees, quite literally, not just hiding in the trees, quite literally disappearing amongst the trees. And they might not be on the same light waves and frequencies as we are. Something else I always like to point out, there is a spray that you can look up, that you can spray it on your license plate, and the naked eye cannot see the spray that you put over your license plate. But when you try to take a photo of that license plate, it will come back blurry, because that spray is like a special type of oil that actually refracts light. So when if you're going down the toll roads and you run a toll, it can actually scramble that image, and they don't know where to send the ticket to. Now, it is illegal to do that to your license plate. Please don't go out and start buying this stuff. But if there was an animal or a creature that could excrete some kind of oil that had the same properties, every time it would appear to be videoed or taken a picture of, it would appear blurry or obscured in some way. So that is the question I'm asking tonight, I guess. Circle this thing back around. Is we take that whole Trail of Tears document as 100% true, and then when it gets to something that doesn't match our history books and our timeline, we just omit it. Why? If all they were writing down in their documents were real things that were happening to them on this trip, why would they just make up something in the middle of it? And I think the answer is they didn't. I think the answer is that our historians, the powers that be, don't really want to deal with these questions. And I also think that's why we have national park systems where they're located at right now. So if you think about it, the United States should be one big national park system, but it's not. We said these areas are national park systems. What if we knew the areas where these shimpeis or other creatures settled, and we marked those areas off for them because they were too human-like to treat them like animals, but still animal enough to not want them in our society? So we said, okay, this is going to be where they're at, and we're going to mark these off as national parks. We're going to mark these off as no light zones, no construction zones, and we'll let them have their natural habitat.
Yeah.
That could also be why we have the missing 411 that also takes place in the U.S. national park systems. If you don't think you could hide there, look up our cave systems. It is wild how you can take a map of the U.S. national park systems, the United States missing peoples system, and the cave system, and they all just line up perfectly with one another. All three maps can be set right on top of each other, and it is a perfect outline of one another. Appreciate you guys watching tonight's video. If you want to follow our podcast, it's called Matt from Nomads on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Yeah.
If you want to watch us on YouTube, it's called Nomads Animal Reserve. Thank you all so much.
Okay, so I had to shut that down because this is the second time tonight this has happened. For some reason, my tab 1 and tab 2 like separate into two different entities. So yeah, I gotta add that back in. But what he is saying is Zitwolf. Yeah. They are there. I do believe that they're interdimensional. And man, I have friends all over the place that are dealing with this stuff all the time. It's pretty intriguing. And I love what that guy does. Like, he didn't even start off doing TikToks. He's, been working in many different places and genres, etc. But yeah. Okay. I feel like we've seen this one before, but I still gotta add this one. Share screen. I gotta make sure that I mute it, because if I don't mute it, then there's gonna be a mad echo. But yeah, I feel like we've seen this one already, so I'm going to skip.
This story tonight could change the way that you look at everything, because it certainly has changed the way that I look at everything. So now would be a great time if you want to pause this video and take a little something that would open your mind up to endless possibilities that could be out there. If you guys are watching this while you're on the toilet, you're probably going to have a dump and then look completely different on everything around you, okay?
Okay.
This is how I believe all things are truly connected in some kind of cosmic web, and there's just like these little threads that just kind of tie everything together, because how strange is this? My great-grandmother's still alive. She's 103 years old.
Holy shnikes.
When she was a teenager, she married really young when she was like 14. And when she was a teenager, her and her husband, my great-grandpa Dalton, who has passed away, came to Oklahoma. Now, I'm originally from East Tennessee. They came through Oklahoma with a bunch of their family. They had a baby that died shortly after being born. It was only a few weeks old and it died. And they buried...
If you guys want to finish this one, I just feel like I have to move forward because he was just on the last one. He's one of my favorites. That's probably why it's the first one you see every time you lock in, especially the last couple times. But Nomads Animal Encounter is where you can find him. Where you can find thee.
So it turns out that the tree huggers were right. It's so funny that it used to be like this diss for hippies, like, oh, they're a tree hugger. Here are 5 science-backed ways where nature heals us. I'm only sharing 5 of them because the video would be way too long, but there are so many, so let me know in the comments your personal favorite ways that the earth and nature heal. Scientists and researchers have found that hugging a tree for 20 seconds lowers cortisol, the stress hormone, significantly, and it triggers the release of oxytocin, the body's feel-good hormone. Actually, just being in close proximity to trees is going to reduce cortisol and release oxytocin. The Japanese refer to this as Shinrin-yoku, or forest bathing. With just 15 minutes in a forest, you're going to measurably boost your immune system, you're going to lower your blood pressure, and experience a big shift in your brain waves. This is not a metaphor. Being around trees literally recharges you. And the cool thing is they don't just heal us, they actually heal one another. Deep within their roots, there is a complex network called the mycelium network. It connects the root systems of the entire forest, and the trees will communicate through their roots, carrying nutrients, resources like water. They share, they support, and they operate as one organism. This is like the definition of reciprocity. Now, it's important to mention before I dive into the other examples that science is not discovering anything. Indigenous peoples around the world have been speaking to this since the foundation of their existence. Science is simply just proving what indigenous wisdom has always said. But let's talk about grounding. Your body is electrical. When you walk barefoot on the earth, you discharge built-up positive ions and absorb electrons that act as antioxidants. This reduces cortisol, it improves sleep, it neutralizes free radicals, literally discharging inflammation from your body. The mother, in a very literal way, regulates you and gives you everything you need when you connect with her. Now let's talk about water. You know how you feel different when you go for a swim, when you stand in a waterfall, when you're standing out in the rain. These water environments are saturated with negative ion. Again, they increase serotonin, they reduce your stress, and they boost your energy. People who live on islands are known to have very laid-back cultures. Well, did you know that an island is literally designed to induce the same brainwave state that people spend years trying to learn to induce through meditation? Looking at the water, being in the water, seeing the waves, hearing the sounds, all of it induces a meditative state. Anytime you are in water, there is an energy exchange. Did you know that studies show that hospitals that play birdsong or other natural soundscapes have faster patient recovery? Birdsong has been proven to reduce stress and restore attention. This is due to evolution. See, we lived with birdsong. It signaled safety to our nervous systems. Birds signal safety. Water softens hypervigilance. It signals to the body that you can rest, that you can recover. And again, I do have to mention, I use tree huggers as a hook, but if there's anybody we owe an apology to, it is the indigenous peoples around the world. They have been tapped into the energy of reciprocity for thousands of years. They know it is not a hierarchy. It is an interconnected web of reciprocity, of give and take. And when you live in that web, you are provided for. This is the definition of abundance, given everything that you need. A web accepts all pieces, right? Hierarchy judges things as good or bad and tries to create separation. A web recognizes that everything is a puzzle piece and serves a part. That is true collectively.
72. Listen up and pay attention, people. 72 is a very special number. Why, you may ask? Well, that's the number that the ancient world used as basically a skeleton key that crossed every major tradition, belief system, and religion simultaneously, and I'm going to show you exactly how right now. Starting with 3 consecutive verses in Exodus, this is the second book of the Old Testament. Now, in each one of these verses, it is exactly 72 letters long. Now, if you read them in the right sequence, you'll get 72 3-letter combinations, creating the 72 Kabbalistic names of God. These are the most powerful divine names in all of Kabbalah. Not only that, they're hidden in the same passage describing the parting of the Red Sea. So Moses didn't just part the water. According to the Kabbalists, he actually used these names to do it. Now stay with me. There's also 72 demons of the Goetia. This is the foundational grimoire of Western ceremonial magic, and they are the precise shadow mirror of the exact same 72 divine names that we just covered, okay? Every name of God has a corrupted inversion in the demonic hierarchy according to the Goetia.
There's a corrupt folder. Or is it a corrupt virus?
72 above and 72 below. The exact same number, just in opposite orientations. And then there's this, the Earth's axis.
And I don't know if you guys know, but supposedly those signs are duplicated by emojis. What? Look at this. It looks like an eyeball.
Actually precesses at exactly 1 degree every 72 years. This is the grandest astronomical clock that the ancient world knew, running on the exact same number as the complete cycle of divine names. And if you don't believe me, look this up. Here's the math in short. 72 multiplied by 5 is 360. That's the full circle and the complete cosmic cycle encoded in the exact same number that we just found in the Old Testament, in Kabbalah, and in the Goetia. Not only that, we have Jesus in the tomb for how long? 72 hours. The disciples were sent out 2 by 2 in how many pairs? 36, half of 72. They literally show up whole and halved at the very most critical moments of the entire gospel narrative.
So I think it's pretty clear that the ancients weren't landing on this number by accident. They were measuring all the same underlying reality just from different angles. And 72 was where every measurement converged. So if you like this video, like the video itself, let me know what you think about the number 72 in the comments below. Any other special numbers I would love.
Love spells gone wrong. Story time. This story is about me because I think he put a love spell on me.
Speaking of love spells, did you guys happen to go to the movies and see that movie Obsession? Oh my god. It was so scary. I think that's the scariest movie I've seen in a while. I was just like... And a lot of times when people are like covering their faces, I wasn't, so I was just like... But then there were other times where we're all just like, we don't want to... If you haven't seen it, if you're dying to see a scary movie, I recommend that you watch Obsession. Yeah, it's so scary. Go see it, for real. You'll thank me if you do, or you might curse me if you do.
When I was 21, I became friends with this girl named Megan. She had a father named Mr. Jim, who was an absolute pig. He was disgusting. Mr. Jim hit on me and asked me out a million times, and I would always say no. Jim knew I had a boyfriend named Zach, who I was very committed to, but he didn't care. He would get an attitude. You could tell he didn't like being rejected because he was used to getting what he wanted. Her daddy was a known bootlegger around here, and if you wanted good wine or shine, you went to him. And he knew I was looking for a specific type of homemade wine, so he made it for me, 2 small little jars. I took it home and drank it. Now, I had this dream about Mr. Jim, and it's me and him having schmegs, and when I wake up, I'm like, why in the world would I dream that? I don't even like him like that. Ew. But the dreams about Jim continued, and they get a lot worse and more graphic. I tell Zach about it, and he's like, that's kind of weird. Like, it sort of bothered him, but he knew I couldn't control it. Well, then I start talking about Mr. Jim a lot. Like, we could be having a normal conversation. I'd say, I wonder if Mr. Jim would do that. I wonder if he likes that kind of food. I wonder what he's doing. Well, of course, Zach gets annoyed and said, I don't want you hanging out with them no more. And I said, you can't tell me what to do. I'll do what I want. And I kept telling myself, Alicia, you don't go after your friends' daddies. That's a no-no. You've never done that. What are you thinking? But I couldn't stop. Things were getting really weird. I start thinking, we're soulmates. We're connected. We're meant to be together. And then all of a sudden, I wake up and all I can think about is Jim. I go over to Megan's house because I want to see her daddy. When I pull up, he's standing out in the front yard waiting on me. We hug and then we kiss. And when he kissed me, it felt like I took a pain pill. It was like straight euphoria. It felt like I had took some kind of drug. I really thought I had fallen in love with Mr. Jim. So Megan comes out and she's like, whoa, oh my gosh, what are you doing, Daddy? Let her go. And he said, no, we want to be together. And she said, Alicia, what? And the way Megan looked at her dad with pure rage, she said, Daddy, you're not doing this to her. Leave her alone. And it felt like maybe they had been through this before. But I didn't care because all I could think about was him, holding him, kissing him, being with him, being his wife. Megan said, Alicia, what about Zach? I said, what about Zach? You can be with him. I don't want him. Megan said, you don't mean that. Alicia, you like Zach. What are you talking about? This ain't you. And I said, yes, it is. I love your daddy. And that feeling got a lot stronger, a lot faster the more I was physically near him. She said, no, you don't. You hate my daddy. He's a pervert and a pig, remember? I said, I don't care. I really think you're just bothered by the fact that me and your father want to be together and I could be your stepmom. Y'all, I was talking crazy shit. I asked Megan, why was she being so jealous? Did she want to be with her daddy? Was she jealous of me? And she said, shut the hell up and get in the car. I'm taking you home. Y'all, I was bawling, crying, begging her to please let me be with her dad. I have to be with her dad. And she was like, get in the car. And then she put me in the car and we left. A few minutes later, I apologized to her and said, as your new mother, I'm going to love you like my own child. I can't wait to be your stepmom. So she spent the night with me so I could not go back over there. And she kept saying, you can't sleep with him. Don't let that happen. I called Zach, break up with him and tell him, never loved him. I always loved Jim. Bye. All that night, I couldn't stop talking about her dad. Like, where is he at? What is he doing? Is he talking to someone? Is he married? Like, I was jealous over him. She starts asking me questions about when this started. I told her about the dreams, which all started the night he gave me that wine. That was when I had the first dream. Some of it is still a blur. I can't remember everything that happened, but I do remember Megan telling me that she was going to fix this. It's fuzzy, but throughout the night, she kept messing with my hair and my pillow. I don't know what she was doing because, like I said, I can't remember it. She said, I promise you, you're going to feel different in a few days. I said, no, I love your dad. I'm marrying that man. That night, I had one of the scariest night terrors I ever had, and it was of her father, Mr. Jim, coming up out of the ground, grabbing me by my legs and pulling me back down into the ground, and I could not get away. Next day, I did not feel the same way I felt the day before. I was so embarrassed. I couldn't believe I went after her daddy. I went and apologized to Zach face to face, but we didn't get back together. He really thought me and Jim had something going on behind his back. Sometime that week, I ran into her dad at a store, and he tried to hug me, and I pushed him off and said, ew, get off me. He said, girl, you love me. We're getting married, remember? I said, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? I don't like you like that. I've been telling you that for years. He said, oh, it's like that now? You don't love me no more? I said, I never loved you, and I know you drug and drink, bitch, and if you come back around me, I'm gonna fuck you up. I know you was trying to drug me or something like that. You done broke me and Zach up. You better stay away from me. He started laughing in my face, and I got so mad that I had to leave because I was having really dark thoughts about hurting this man. Well, I'm crying and I called Megan over because I was so confused and hurt. And she tells me, look, I think I know why this started. And I'm like, why? And she said, my family is originally from the mountains in North Carolina, and my grandma and great-grandma did roots. So my dad knows a lot about it, and I think he might have done something to you. Megan also told me that her dad had been known to do stuff like this just to get laid and take the spell off once he got what he wanted, leaving these women feeling hurt, confused, and out of their mind like they just lost it. That's how he got 6 kids by 6 women who hate his guts. I don't know if that's true, but that's what she said. But we go back and forth between, did he drug me? Did he put a spell on me? We don't know. All I can tell you is one day I was falling in love with Zach, and the next I was in love with her father, a man that grossed me out so much I'd get nauseated around him, and then I was going to marry him. I don't know what he did, but he did something to me. She said, but my daddy knows nothing good comes from doing this stuff. You could have got hurt. Him, me, Zach, any of us could have been hurt. She was absolutely right, because during all that, I was having some crazy dark thoughts, stuff I had never thought before. And then Megan was gone. She took all her stuff and left, didn't even say goodbye. I never saw her again. He left North Carolina too, but I don't know where he went. So while filming this, I did a background check on her father, and you will not believe what happened to him. It took me a while, but I finally found his obituary, which was linked in another country to an article about him being by his last wife. I don't know the situation, and I'm not saying he deserved it, but I have to wonder, did he finally mess with the wrong one? I don't know if he put a hex on this woman, or if he drugged her or what, but either way, she stabbed him to death. And no, I'm not going to show the article because it's not fair to Megan. She don't deserve to be punished because of what her dad did. I would never dox her like that. Megan was always a really good friend to me, and of course I should...
But that brings me back again to that movie Obsession. Yes. All this shit lines up. And it was because this guy liked this girl a lot, and she really didn't pay him any attention. And he goes to the store one night because last conversation they had, she had lost her crystal necklace out from the toilet. I guess it fell in the toilet or something. But yeah, so she dropped it down the toilet on the way to go be where the heck she was. He stopped by the store, and they had crystals, but none of them looked right for her. Like, they just weren't that great. So he saw, before he left, this box that was a one-wish willow. He bought that instead because he was going to give that to her. He's like, none of the crystals really fit you, but here's a free wish. And instead of giving it to her because he kept pussing out, after he dropped her off, he broke it before she even went in the door to wish that she would love him more than anyone ever. And boy, did she. Oh my gosh. But it wasn't her. It was a spell. So there's a few times like she was trying to fight it. But yeah, that was insane. If you haven't seen it, you need to see this movie. It's insane. Obsession.
Changed all the names. I always use fake names to protect the people in my stories, but I will say that Megan is doing great for herself. She's successful. She has the family she always wanted, and I'm really happy for her.
Welcome back to another episode of Tea After Midnight. Just a little series where we have some tea to keep it nice and classy,
Savannah,
but I also tell you scary stories. And tonight's story comes with a picture that has me absolutely unsettled.
Okay.
So grab your favorite tea and settle in, and let me tell you another scary story, because of course, this is Tea After Midnight. This story comes from Kay. Hi Savannah, I hope this email finds you well. I really enjoy your videos, and I wanted to share something that happened to me last year. I've never been someone who fears or even believes in paranormal experiences. That only started to change when my mom began taking courses to become a shaman. She has always claimed to sense or see things, but I never believed her. I assumed it was just her mind playing tricks. That is until things started happening in our home. At first, it was only my mom experiencing these things. One night while she was home alone, she said she heard loud footsteps moving back and forth between our bedrooms from downstairs, which are right next to each other. It frightened her so much that she ended up sleeping on the sofa downstairs. Another time, she was standing in the hallway near the front door, facing a mirror. The downstairs bathroom was behind her. In the mirror, she noticed something in her peripheral vision. Something she described as human, but distorted, almost like it had a strange filter over it. When she focused on it, a painting I had made, one that had been hanging in the same spot for months, suddenly fell. Because of where it landed, it blocked the bathroom door completely. At the time, I brushed it off as a coincidence, assuming she was overthinking things because of her course. But then things started happening to me. It only ever occurred at night, after I had fallen asleep. I would wake up suddenly in a panic with thoughts that didn't feel like my own, almost as if someone was speaking directly into my mind. The thoughts were extremely vivid and specific. For example, I would wake up thinking, there is something sitting under your desk. It has long limbs and a long neck. It's smiling and it wants you to be afraid. Do not let it know you're awake. I would lie there completely frozen, pretending to be asleep,
That's
absolutely
sabotage.
convinced that something was in my room. These episodes happened every single night. On top of that, the room would feel like it was spinning, similar to the sensation of lying down while extremely drunk. This took a serious toll on me, both mentally and physically. I struggled in college because I was barely sleeping. There were times I went 2 or 3 days without sleep, not because I wasn't tired, but because I was too afraid to fall asleep. The final incident was the most intense. One night at around 3:20 a.m., I had been downstairs in the living room, binge-watching The Office. I went upstairs to grab my phone charger, and to get upstairs you have to pass through our long kitchen. At the far end, there's a couch. In the middle is the entrance to the living room where I was, and at the other far end, the hallway door, which was where I needed to go. After getting my charger, I walked back down into the kitchen. The kitchen lights were off, and when I look down the far end, I suddenly see a figure standing upright on the couch at the far end. It was too dark to make out any features, but I was certain in the moment it was a person. We stood there for what felt like a full minute, just staring at each other, until it leaped off the couch and sprinted toward me. I ran as fast as I could back into the living room, barely managing to slam the door shut. I called my mom in a panic and crying, convinced there was someone in the house trying to attack me. While on the phone, I turned on the living room light so I could see into the kitchen. I grabbed one of the fireplace tools for protection and slowly went back to turn on the kitchen lights. There was nothing there. I searched the entire house, but still, no one was there. I checked every door and they were all locked. There was no way somebody got into the house. Plus, I live in a very small village in the middle of nowhere. At the time, I didn't even think of this as paranormal because of how real and vivid it felt. I later drew what I had been seeing and showed it to a woman my mom brought in to cleanse the house. Forewarning, I'm inserting the picture now. When she saw the drawing, she said it looked exactly like what she had sensed was inside the house after walking through the house. She even got chills at how accurately I had drawn it. After she cleansed the house, everything stopped. None of us have experienced anything like it since. So there are definitely a few things that I want to touch on this story. The first one's going to be when you would go to sleep, and every single night this happened, you would go to sleep, but you would wake up in a panic, feeling like somebody had spoke something to you, and you woke up and it was extremely vivid and specific. Like you said, for example, you would wake up thinking there is something sitting under your desk. It had long limbs and a long neck. It's smiling and it wants you to be afraid. Do not let it know you're awake. I have chills just reading that because what do you mean that you would wake up and you would think something that specific, that something with a long neck, long limbs is under your desk, it's smiling at you, I've got chills again, and it wants you to be afraid, so don't let it know that you're awake. That absolutely sends chills down my spine. My whole body is in full chills right now. But this didn't just happen one night. This kept repeatedly happening. And I'm so sorry you went through that because I don't even know what I would do the first time that would happen. I wouldn't know what to do. But to feel that way, I can just imagine the pure terror that you felt every night that you woke up. But next, let's talk about this picture right here. This picture is pure evil. Looking at this, it has me so unsettled right now.
She showed before?
I don't
even
know what this is.
Hold on.
Is pure evil. Looking at this, it has me so unsettled right now. I don't even know what this is. If anybody in the comments knows, please let us know. But this just looks like pure, absolute evil.
Yes.
And I absolutely could not imagine being in your position, seeing this thing, not only just seeing it, but it then running at you.
Yeah.
But looking at this, it just absolutely sends shivers down my spine and it freaks me out. And I'm so sorry that you saw that. But I really hope that you're not seeing it now. From the story, it sounded like after the house was cleansed that you haven't had any more experiences. So I pray that stays the same.
This is everything that happened on the news today, but it's going to be simplified in 60 seconds.
Oh,
Scientists
my
just
gosh.
discovered ancient cities that are hidden in the Amazon for thousands of years. They found this ancient...
Okay, Guy, 18 hours ago. Well, Guy, they saw those ancient cities before. It was a satellite thing that goes and, like, maps the earth, and they see the trees and everything else that's grown over it. But at the same time, they see the structure. But maybe there's more? Because scientists discovered ancient cities hidden in the Amazon several years ago, from thousands of years ago.
city by using laser technology being flown on a plane over the land. They're thinking that the cities they found are nearly 3,000 years old, and it's obviously just the remains of them. There's not actually standing buildings, it's just the outline. Upside down
Are you
skyscraper
serious?
that's hidden in mountain that will offer futuristic living. So if you guys haven't already heard about the plans for Saudi Arabia with them building that huge futuristic city, this is just another plan they've just revealed, doing it underground. And if you don't know exactly what I'm talking about, I'm sure this will refresh your memory. Conspiracy theorists have bizarre explanations for why NASA has delayed the trip to the moon. Basically, NASA has a plan to take humans to the south side of the moon that we haven't been on yet, but people are thinking that they keep postponing the mission because they don't actually know how to get there. The biggest moon conspiracy is that we haven't actually been there.
Sorry, guys.
At every opportunity, the media has dissected.
Okay, this says it's not an accident that Michael is everywhere, right? Before he passed, he was strong, he was vibrant, he was telling you what the hell was going on, and he ain't doing it no more. Then after that, you saw what happened, you heard what happened. He was weak, he couldn't do things that he wanted or needed to do. Like, everything isn't just black and white, it just seems that way at this point.
And manipulated these allegations to reach their own conclusions. I ask all of you to wait and hear the truth before you label or condemn me.
It is not an accident that Michael Jackson is everywhere right now. We have all been bombarded with a lot of shadow that has been coming to light of all of the absolute horrors, crimes, and abuse that the system utilizes to maintain power structures. The same system that painted Michael as a monster for crimes against children, you now see they are the monsters. You have shadow that is masquerading, it is cosplaying as light. And in its performance, it hides its shadow. And when people come along to shine a light into that shadow, oftentimes they have shadow cast onto them. And this is what happened to Michael. Everybody knows about the allegations, but the media barely covered all the non-guilty verdicts that he received. I mean, his entire life was put under a microscope and he was acquitted. And yet we have a mountain of evidence in files, but we have no trials. So there was a wise teacher who once said that you will know people by their fruits, that a good tree bears good fruit, a bad tree bears bad fruit, a good tree cannot bear bad fruit, nor can a bad tree bear good fruit. Therefore, by their fruits you will know them.
If I am guilty of anything, it is of giving all that I have to give to help children all over the world. Magic, the wonder, the mystery, and the innocence of a child's...
Because, you know what? Michael Jackson was an abused child. He did not get to experience his childhood. He had to work, or he got whipped, and even if he worked, he got whipped. Like, that shit was so bad. Michael was not a perv. Michael didn't do anything wrong. Michael acted weird sometimes because he was still stuck in that state of being a child. His inner child would come out, I guess. I don't know. He didn't have the same rights as a lot of us. Like, a lot of us, like me and Michael and everybody, like, didn't get to live our childhood because certain traumatic things. So then our child tries to come back in latter years, but yeah, I don't believe he did anything. And yes, Macaulay Culkin said he never did anything. And I'm like, of all the people, if you were a chomo, of all the people not to do anything to it, be Macaulay Culkin. But I take that back because I don't believe he ever did anything like that. I believe it was all about the money, greed. Greed is one of the worst sins ever. Yeah. And I think the only time there was that one picture of Epstein with him that he was tricked once again. Hey, Mike, we got this and this and that going on. Why didn't you come on over? And they got a picture together. Or maybe it was at something else. I don't even know where their pictures clued, like where they are together, but I don't think Michael did that.
Heart are the seeds of creativity that will heal the world.
By their actions, we will know them. The issue is, most people are cut off from their own discernment and intuition, which means emotions control the way they perceive reality. This is why the media just simply needed to condemn Michael in the court of public opinion. And they were successful at it. The same media that is also covering up all of the shadow that's happening. Reality is a mirror, and what it's reflecting to us right now is the distortion that we live in. The more we examine the fruits of Michael Jackson, I think it's pretty clear who he was. He was a very pure, very innocent, very childlike soul, but he was also tapped into his authentic expression.
Music is not entertainment. Music is a delivery system. Check this out. Research into his music catalog suggests that much of it was recorded at 432 hertz. And that's the frequency that some people call the heartbeat of the earth.
So Michael's music absolutely healed and continues to heal people, but it's not just the frequency that the music carries, it's the frequency with which it was delivered. Okay, so here's where we're going to get a little bit deep, so please stick with me. There is something called non-duality and duality, okay? Non-duality is like the source from which everything came. What was before the Big Bang was? I don't know. It is. A reflection of this is like the sun, right? The sun and its light are the same. The sun emits light, that light travels, but the light and the sun are one and the same. From this one unified field came the expression of duality, or the illusion of separation. It's why we can exist as separate beings. Duality is like the earth, which is physical, it is specific, it is diverse, there is scarcity, as well as abundance, right? There is polarity, there is opportunity. Though these express that divine energy differently, they are actually one and the same. Unity through sameness, unity through different expression. It is the same divine source that is reflecting to you different modes. And the challenging thing about the spiritual path is it is about holding paradox. It is about bracing both sides of these. It is the marrying of the physical, the non-physical, the masculine, the feminine, the marrying of opposites, right? The conscious, the unconscious, the light, the shadow, the things you accept, the things that you reject. Right now, our Western view is very hierarchical, right? We separate things. This is good, this is bad. We reinforce separation. This is why people can commit so many horrors on this earth to other living conscious things and not care. But an indigenous view is around the web of life, that everything is intimately interconnected. It's why they refer to animals as brother or sister. It's why they know that everything has a spirit, because everything has a spirit, even though it's manifesting differently. It is not about better or worse and reinforcing separation. It is all about balance and finding your place in this web of life. Same goes with you and all the characteristics that you have. Michael Jackson was a perfect expression of Michael Jackson. He did not need to be Jesus. He did not need to be Buddha. He has his own frequency, and in his expression, alignment comes about. Too many people on the spiritual path are still reinforcing this hierarchical, fear-based thinking. There are pieces they accept, there's pieces they reject. They think it's about ascending, going higher because the lower is bad. And that makes sense, because if you hold in hierarchy in one area, you embody that energy everywhere. The above is the below, the within is the without. If you judge people outside of you as good or bad, it is simply highlighting to you the energy that you hold for yourself as well. True growth comes from accepting all pieces, by recognizing the perfection of the imperfection. It's not about becoming, it is simply about being. But anyways, I'm going way too long, but you do not need to become anything other than what you are. Your path is not about becoming, it is about learning to be. And the paradox is, in being, in the alchemizing, in the
We are
marriage of
paradox.
all parts, in the realization of your wholeness right now. Yes, all the pieces you like, all the pieces you don't like, the things you want to overcome. You are whole in your expression right now. In that being, you actually unlock the energy of expansion and becoming. If you struggle to witness yourself, if you struggle to look at the reflections, I have some guided meditations that can help you. These are for the most advanced meditators or just beginners. They are guided experiences. I also have many subconscious reframing mantras that utilize frequencies to plant energies into your subconscious mind.
Hello, relatives, aunties, uncles, nieces.
Okay, I just have to say, all of this guy, the gym. The gym is awesome. I love the gym. Maybe questions for white people. Blood quantum.
Nephews, and all the white folks who took 123andMe test and found out they're 1% indigenous, and now we're cousins.
Oh, shit.
How's it going,
Anyway.
cousin? Aho. Today's question is a big one. What is blood quantum? And like everything in Native country, the answer is complicated. And with this one specifically, it is deeply colonial. So sit back, relax, and light your Spencer's Sage Smudge Kit and enjoy this episode of Baby Questions for White People.
Baby questions for white people. Ask it soft and let it go.
Let's get this out of the way first. Blood quantum is not traditional. It didn't come from our ancestors, our ceremonies, our kinship systems, or our ways of knowing. It came from the U.S. government. The same people who brought you smallpox blankets, broken treaties, and the idea that fractions could somehow
Broken
measure
awesomeness.
identity. Blood quantum was created
Starvedness.
as a colonial tool in the 17 and 1800s to classify Native people by how Indian they were on paper. Why?
Oh.
Well, because if you can shrink a population on paper, you can shrink your treaty obligations, your land responsibilities, and your legal accountability. It was literally designed as a slow burn erasure strategy, a bureaucratic countdown clock on the indigenous existence. By the late 1800s and early 1900s, the Bureau of Indian Affairs was out here assigning blood quantum like they were passing out Pokemon cards.
I wanna be the very best.
Through census rolls, allotment documents, tribal lists, all filled out by non-native officials who couldn't pronounce our names but somehow felt qualified to calculate our identity in fractions. Then came the Indian Reorganization Act of 1934, when tribes were pressured to adopt written constitutions and membership rules that included blood quantum. So now you've got nations forced to use a system that was never ours, measuring identity with math instead of kinship, culture, identity, community, or lived connection. Under this system, someone labeled full blood as 4/4, their kids became a half, and then 1/4, and then 1/8, like colonial turned this into a fraction-based disappearing act. And because every tribe sets its own enrollment standards, you can have one nation requiring 1/2, another requiring 1/4, and another using lineal descent, like if you descend from us, you're us. And here's the kicker. Blood quantum has no biological basis. Humans don't pass down ancestry in perfect little slices like pizza.
No,
The
it's
records
like-
were inaccurate. The math was made up, and the whole system was designed to make fewer.
From what I understand from BTO, aka Beyond The Omniverse, we're like a fractured mirror, if you must.
Native people exist on paper over time. That's why so many people call it paper genocide. Meanwhile, you could have someone raised in their community, speaking their language, dancing at ceremonies, knowing their clan, living their culture, and still be told they don't have enough blood to be legally recognized. That's not tradition.
Wow.
That's colonial math doing exactly
Yeah.
what it was designed to do.
Yep.
Some nations are moving away from
Slavery.
blood quantum and back towards lineal descent, which is how many of our ancestors understood belonging. If you come from us, you're one of us. The Cherokee Nation is a well-known example of this, where citizenship is based on documented ancestry, not fractions. And if you really want to understand how deep this goes, how blood quantum was designed as a colonial tool, how...
Hey! Hello?
I called you earlier on phone, but
Oh, okay.
but
I'm
still
doing my
functions
show
as
for
paper
another,
genocide, and how it's being used right now to erase
like 9
indigenous
minutes or
identity
something.
on paper while families are still very much alive, then you need to watch the movie You're No Indian. The film breaks it all down. How enrollment and disenrollment is weaponized, how it's tied to history and paper genocide, and how it's being used today to disenroll Native people from their own nation, sometimes wiping out entire families in one generation. If you want to see the real-world impact, the politics, the manipulation, the loopholes, the harm, and the people fighting back, this film lays it out with receipts, interviews, and lived experience. So if you're ready to learn more about why blood quantum is wrong, colonial, and still hurting our communities, go watch the movie. Again, You're No Indian.
No, not yet.
It's not just a documentary, it's a wake-up call.
No,
So I hope this helps. That's what blood quantum is. And remember, follow You're No Indian on socials, and stay tuned for another episode of Baby Questions for White People.
Baby questions for white people. Ask it soft and let it go.
The road that eats children, story time. Now, I've shared several stories about this road before and how we all avoid it. So Jason was 26, his daddy owned a local funeral home, and Jason was the one who drove the hearse. Now, Jason's parents forbade him from driving on that highway. Him and his sister, they didn't want their kids anywhere near it. Let me just say, Jason was free. He didn't drink, smoke, nothing. So around 6:30 in the morning, Jason's daddy wakes him up and tells him he's got to go to the hospital and pick up a couple of bodies to bring back to their funeral home. Jason pulls up at the hospital, signs the papers, they load the bodies up, he gets in the hearse and he leaves. And Jason knew the rules. You don't make pit stops, you don't take detours, you don't stop off and see your girlfriend. No, you pick the bodies up, you bring them back. That's the rule. So Jason would have to drive about 20 minutes out of his way, taking the other route to avoid that road, and that's what he usually did up until this morning. So Jason pulls up to the other highway and is blocked off. Road closed. They're doing construction work. He can't get through. So he's got to take this bad highway to get back home with those bodies. Jason said from the time those wheels hit the highway, he felt it. Everything around him began to shift and change. It's like how you feel before a thunderstorm hits. You know it's about to storm. Temperature dropped. The wind started blowing. His ears popped. Things felt weird. All of a sudden, the hair on his arms and neck stands up, and he gets the feeling like somebody's watching him, like they're right on his neck. He heard a woman's voice in his mind say, "Don't stop. Keep driving." And he thought, where the hell did that come from? Like an intrusive thought or something. So Jason turns around and sees a woman with brown hair right behind him, and he damn near wrecked the car. He turns around and opens the curtain in the back of the car, but there's nobody there. And the two coffins are still lined up, closed. He hits the gas and starts driving again. When he gets about a mile up the road, he sees this woman in a red dress. And again, he hears that woman in his head say, "Don't stop." But he didn't want to leave this girl out there. She might be in trouble, so he did stop. Jason said, "Ma'am, are you okay? Do you need a ride? I'm going into town." But the woman didn't say anything. She just kept walking. He's driving slow, following her with the car, and again he says, "Do you need help?" She stops, looks him in his eye and says, "I wonder who'll drive this car when it's you laying in the back." And that scared the hell out of him. Well, he decided at that point he wasn't going to give her a ride, so he took off. He gets over a mile down the road, looks in the rearview mirror, and sees a red reflection following behind him, and it's catching up fast. By the time he looks back at the highway and back at the rearview mirror, this thing is right on the back of the car, and now he can see it. It's her. He watches her face as it changes from a beautiful woman into some type of demonic monster, pure nightmare fuel. He said her eyes were that big, jet black, bulging out of her face. She had no nose or ears. She was bald-headed, and there were sharp teeth protruding out of her mouth. Her arms were so long they were dragging past her feet, and she would throw them up and slap them on the back of the car. Every time she would slap the back of the car, it shook the entire vehicle. It felt like she was really strong, like she could do some damage. Well, he's nowhere near the end of this road. It's a very long road. He said he slung that hearse around so hard he could hear the caskets banging up against the wall in the back, and then he peed in his pants. Well, then she's just gone. So he slows the car down, and he's almost at the end of the road, and that's where he sees her. She's standing beside that old stop sign with her arms straight beside of her and her mouth hanging open. Then he sees a big white dog just standing in the middle of the highway. Jason said this is when all hell broke loose because this dog did not look right. This looked like a dog that had been stuffed, like taxidermy. Its eyes looked like marbles, the tongue looked fake, the hair was all brittle looking. The dog stood up on its hind legs, its head turned backwards. The woman and the dog walked up together and contorted their bodies. They were stuck together. And now there was a paw out here and an arm there and a high heel here. And then their heads split apart. Half was hers, half was the dog's, and they both had those big eyes and teeth. There was nowhere to go. Either you drive back onto that haunted highway or you go through these two monsters. He felt trapped. That was when he heard that same woman's voice in his head again telling him, "Get off the highway. Get off the highway now. Back up." As this thing approached the car, he stomped it backwards through the cornfield and got off of that road back onto the other main road. Once he got onto that road, everything shifted again. It was like the sun was back out, the temperature was warm. The craziest part was, when he got back to the funeral home, they unloaded the bodies, and one of them was a woman. During the funeral, her family put a DVD into the TV, showed a video of her singing "You Are My Sunshine" to one of her babies back when they were little. As soon as he heard her singing that voice, it was the same voice that he heard in the car telling him, "Don't stop." It was that woman whose body body was in the hearse who was trying to protect him that day. He tells his dad that he needs a break from the funeral home because he thinks he's going crazy and what happened out there. And his dad said, "It ain't you, son. It's that damn road. It's cursed." His daddy, Mr. Milton, said that he had a very similar experience driving down that same highway 20 years ago, transporting bodies from the hospital back to the funeral home.
Are there giant spiders in Colorado? Now, in the 1800s, there was a story that came out of Chaffee County, Colorado. And it said that some of the townspeople found this mysterious cave. And within this cave, they found these very large spiders that were the size of cats. These spiders were not very normal spiders. Sometimes they acted very intelligently, and they were almost dog-like. Now, it said that these locals, they would take the webbing from these spiders, which was almost like a pure silk, and they would make rope and clothing. They would even hunt the spiders themselves and make gloves. And the weirdest part about the story is some of the locals were said to have taken these spiders and turned them into pets, and they would use them to sort of protect their house and their livestock.
That's cool.
But it said that these spiders were also sometimes aggressive, and from time to time a person or an animal would go missing, and many people suspected it was these mysterious spiders. Now, there was a story of a prospector named Schultz. Schultz heard from some of the locals about this cave, and apparently there was a very large vein of gold. But he was told by the locals, do not go there because that's where these spiders live, and they do not like people going near this cave. But he was filled with greed. He heads up the mountain, and he ends up finding the cave. For 3 days, he's prospecting, and he returns back to the townspeople. And he tells them, I found gold, and there's lots of it, enough to make this whole town rich. But none of the townspeople would go anywhere near this cave. And he said to them, I've seen the spiders. Mostly they hide in a cave. They don't come out during the day. But at night, they come very close to my camp. They've taken one of my dogs. They've almost taken one of my mules. And I'm afraid eventually they will take me. But he was so consumed with greed that he decided to go back. And many days passed. They never heard from the prospector. And after about a week, they went up to the mountain and found this cave. And all they found remaining of him were his bones. And it said still to this day in Chaffee County, in the mountains of Colorado, you can see these giant, abnormally large spiders.
It's heating up, guys. It is heating up. Right, so some more updates for you. I did say that, as and when things come out, I will connect the dots and put it together for you in a presentational format. And here we are. So, there are 3 patterns emerging from 3 specific individuals, of which I've watched relentlessly over the past 48 hours. And there seems to be a common trend here, especially the last one, which is in this case is Eric Weinstein. I hope I have pronounced your surname properly, sir. So what makes these 3 statements significant is not just the UFO UAP topic itself, it's that 3 separate high-profile figures are all describing government outreach, White House involvement, communications planning, and discussions around how to prepare the public. It's a lot of P's there. And the most important voice in this sequence may actually be Eric Weinstein, because he is not a typical UFO personality. And as you know, from when we've spoken to him, when we've seen him speak to Jesse Michaels, Joe Rogan previously on this issue, he's been heavily skeptical. Something's changed. I watched a podcast with Eric Weinstein a few days ago. When he spoke to Joe Rogan, his position has now changed based on the outreach from said individuals from the White House and communications planning surrounding disclosure. This is where it gets really interesting. So, he's a Harvard-trained mathematical physicist, former managing director of...
I gotta stop this. Oh my goodness. Dang, guys, I can't believe it's already the end of the show. Can you believe it? I cannot believe it.